proud members of the Dread Central Podcast Network.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Oh, come on, you know I don't watch that shit.
Why not? Too scared?
No, it's just what's the point? They're all the same. Some stupid killer stalking some big-breasted girl who can't act, who's always running up the stairs when she should be going out the front door. It's insulting.
To Kim and Kat, Stay Alive. Maybe.
We're a horror movie comedy podcast.
We're going to tell you the entirety of a movie, spoilers and all.
And I, Ketryn Porter, am going to try to stay alive.
And I, Kim Burns, am going to try to murder her.
Hello?
Hello?
Gina holes out.
Tits up. This old coffee mug.
Very important announcement.
I
have officially found my favorite hard seltzer.
Wow. Alert the presses. This is huge.
Wild Basin.
Is the brand?
Is the brand. They sell it at Trader Joe's and lots of other places that I've now seen. Their flavors, both of their flavor profiles are, I'm totally here for them. We've got things like cucumber basil. Like,
oh my. Okay.
It is my jam sesh, and I'm into it.
What is that your favorite flavor of the favorite
No,
brand?
my favorite is a peach one that I think it's actually peach and cucumber, and it is
peach and cucumber. I would never have even did that. Put that together.
Good. And there's like a strawberry coconut where I'm like, I'm sorry.
I can get down with that.
Yeah, this one is a little bit more abstract. This one is Yumberry.
Yumberry. I mean, sounds yummy.
I mean, they're not lying. It is yum.
It's yumberry delicious.
So, yeah, that was a good part of my week.
Great. I think that's all we got for you guys. That's we did as high as we could get.
I'm like, can I be like one of those people that like reviews food, but like people send me their hard seltzers to review?
Honestly, I guarantee you could start a YouTube channel doing that right now.
Maybe that's how I'm going to start my TikTok.
There you go.
Is reviewing hard seltzers. I'm into it. Hi, how are you?
Hey, I'm good.
That's good. That makes me happy.
You have blush face.
You should talk about a thing. Do it.
I started talking to a new person, and he's awesome. Don't know what else to say about it. No, he's super fucking cool. He actually, honestly, like treats me better than any man ever has in my life. Like, it's really fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And he says lots of nice things to me, and then his behavior backs it up. Like, he just is really, really fucking awesome, and we have really great banter, and it's just fun. And
it sounds like you can be 100,000 million% yourself.
Yeah, he makes me feel like safe, like emotionally safe. So I feel like super, like I'm just me.
That makes me so happy.
And he's so sweet. He's just really sweet to me.
Well, Sammy's, please don't tell him this because you know how coveted this is, and I don't want it to go to his head. But he does have a preliminary seal of approval.
I don't think you should tell him. He knows that your approval is the highest approval.
I know. That's why I'm like,
he's already concerned about it.
He should be concerned. I like his concern. I appreciate his concern. It is well founded.
I will say it's really cool because the reason I haven't talked about dating is because I haven't felt like it recently. And I just got real mad. Like, I was just like, I'm so fucking over this. I'm so fucking over it. And I wrote an angry letter to the universe. Then I burned it by ripping it up and throwing it in the trash. I didn't really burn it. But it's called like a bitch and burn.
Yeah. You don't like starting fires in your apartment?
No, I'm not you, Ketryn.
Oh, yeah.
So And I was just like, I'm just going to do whatever feels good. And I was like, you know what? I fully surrender. Universe, I fully surrender. I was like, I trust in the universe and I surrender fully to love. Goodbye. That's it. That's all I have. That's all I'm doing. And then I just never felt like talking to anyone online. Like I was like, I don't know how this is going to happen, universe, but I'm trusting in you because Lord knows I don't interact with humans outside of this apartment box I live in. So don't know how that's going to happen. And then one day last week, I randomly was like, I actually would be interested in replying to this one person. And it wasn't him. It was like someone else, but it made me go like the way Hinge works. You have to like go, like I have honestly, no, I don't want to say it. It makes me sound like an asshole. Oh, the way that the likes work, you can't see them all at once. You have to go one by one. And you know how I'm indecisive. So honestly, I have just like 300 likes that are like sitting there.
But that's a crazy way to do that.
Well, because you have to pay to see them all. So that's kind of how they make money.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. So then I'm so sorry. There's definitely a lot of likes that I've never seen. I'm so sorry. Because I just don't go through them all.
Yeah.
But there was one that I was like, oh, I'm interested in replying to him, but I had to go through like 5 people. Mm-hmm. So turns out this other guy, who's the one I'm now dating, actually he replied to the thing. So I have like top of my profile is like, I'm looking for a serious committed relationship, like no bullshit. Yeah. And he replied to that, being like, that's the end goal. Like, you have an amazing smile, by the way. And I was like, anyone who replies to that specific message always gets like a good look-see. Good look-see.
For sure.
So I replied to him, and then we like talked for hours that night and then set up a FaceTime date. But I think what's funny, and in that woo-woo universe way that you know I love, the day I started talking to him was his birthday. And so I have like an age cutoff on my profile. Like you can only see people in between like this age limit. And so he's a little bit younger, and he turned the age, like the bottom of my age limit that day. Like literally the day before, we couldn't have seen each other's profiles.
I just love that. It's such and it's such a magic number. Like that's
Isn't
so
that
cool.
crazy? So I love that. That's cool. And yeah, I do think, I meant to say this. I don't even think I told you this, but I thought about it a lot. You always say, you Ketryn, I think you've said it on here. It's going to make me cry. You're always like, I just want someone who sees you the way that I see you. And like, I really think that he does.
Oh, shoot. Kim.
Oh, wait. No, Ketryn cried. Oops.
Oh,
I've thought about that specific thing. Like, I was just like, I think he like sees me and he really likes it, like fully me, and like, just fucking awesome.
Yeah, and I mean,
so
we joke about my seal of approval. Like, I am a control freak. I am dramatic. I am possessive. I am all of those things that you guys are totally within your right to make fun of me for. But like, I hold that very strongly, that it's like, I know how this bitch needs to be treated, and like, I will not accept anything less.
Mm-hmm. Damn straight. I mean, me neither, to be honest, which is why I haven't yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like he sees me like right off the get-go, right off the bat, not like a year later and realizing they made a mistake, or like hanging on breadcrumbing for 2-3 years. Like, fucking bullshit.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah, like it feels really nice to be treated the way you deserve to be treated, turns out.
The safety part is my favorite thing you've said, you know, because I think, and tell me if you can relate to this, as someone who was often told they were too much, when I met Eric, for me, it was like the days when I wasn't having a good day, or my reaction to something was like not ideal, or he, you know, triggered me in some way. There was never any question as to whether or not he was going to stay.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's how he makes me feel.
Yeah. So I just, And it feels really good. Like, it feels really good to be able to be, 100% myself, no matter how difficult that version of me is to be around at any given moment.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that, like, Eric likes it when I'm like that. But he's just like, well, this is what this is a part of the person that I picked. And so I love it.
Aww.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Obviously we just met. But
Yeah.
but we
No, but you're saying it's no pressure on him. It's always just about you and about how you feel and how have an example of what it feels like to feel like this, to feel you know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's what I'm into.
it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So that's me.
What's
Do we
happening?
have other things?
I guess I won't go into too much detail. I had a rough week this week, and it brought up stuff that I realize is probably something that other people are dealing with. Kim and I have obviously done a lot of work on ourselves, and I have done a lot of work on myself, and I know that I have, issues that stem from trauma that has happened to me, obviously, like everyone. And, I have a lot of control issues, and basically all of my control issues stem from, if I don't control this situation, everyone I love will die. Like, that's what it boils down to. And, that is a learned response to my surroundings as
Completely.
an enabler and as someone who, has people that I'm close to who struggle with addiction and mental health and things like that. You try to control that person, and when you can't, it's almost like the control becomes its own monster.
And then it becomes a thing on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I kind of was reminded that, like, my work isn't finished this week, because I kind of thought I was past a level of being triggered. You knew me when I was really in the throes of being sort of like daily triggered by this person.
Yeah. Completely. We live together.
That's been a while since I've been like that. So I was really surprised to sort of find myself back there where it's like I lost an entire 36 hours because this person triggered me in a way that I did not have any control over. And what happens is I end up feeling so hurt and so defeated and so out of control that I then try to control the response of other people that this person may hurt and protect them.
Yeah.
And I literally found myself saying, like, I would let this person hurt me every single day of my life if I could spare him hurting someone else.
Yeah.
And that's not healthy.
Nope.
Because, like, I should want to not be hurt as much as I don't want him to hurt other people. So I went to an Al-Anon meeting for the first time.
Yay. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. It was over Zoom, obviously. It was terrifying. But it was just as you knew it would be. Hearing your own thoughts and feelings reflected back at you. I tend to be someone who I get great comfort, not in knowing other people are in pain, but knowing that
You're not alone.
I'm not alone, and I'm not having a reaction that I shouldn't be, or I don't know.
No, that, like, there's nothing wrong with, like, how you're feeling.
Yeah. I kind of like being a textbook, if that makes sense. It's comforting. But I just want to remind everyone, like, your work doesn't, like, stop. And, like, there's nothing wrong with you if you get, like, re-triggered, and
100%.
there's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
So,
my therapist is always like, you can always come back.
Yeah. And it was crazy. Like, the thing that was talked about was like, what's everyone's experience with detachment? And I was like, oh, you mean the Oh, you mean the exact reason that I'm here. So it was just really nice because, like, being able to say, like, hi,
Did you talk?
I did, because it was
job.
like, it was so, I only spoke one sentence. Like, basically, I was like, this
like
theme
why
of
you're
detachment.
here.
Yeah. And it was like, this theme of detachment. Everyone else was kind of like, here's how I learned to detach. And I was like, I don't know how to detach. Hi. Now I'm sobbing. My name is Ketryn. But it was great because, like, immediately everyone was just like, here's my phone number. You can call me anytime.
I love it.
Yes. So,
I'm really proud of you for going. And honestly, like, especially that statement that you said of, like, when you text that to me of, like, oh, I don't care if they hurt me. I don't want them to hurt this other people. And, like, in that moment, like, I knew very much, I was like, this is like a cycle of abuse and addiction. And I've been part of it for the large majority of my life. And, like, because also it was happening in a cycle, like, cyclically, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this exact response and behavior. And
I would think that things were better. I would grow closer to him. Our relationship would seem like it was on the up and up, and then he would pull the rug out from under me again.
And that's why I was very much like, I think you need some outside help, because, like, and I'm so happy that you were like, obviously, like, there were a lot of people talking about me, but, like, I'm just happy that you were open to it and did it. Because, like, that, like, the amount of times that my therapist had to say to me, you can't control your mother.
Yeah.
She's a grown person and you can't control her behavior. No matter how you feel about it or you feel bad that she's being abused, like, you can't control her and you can't help her. You can't protect her. Like, you don't have control over that. Like, you don't have control over that. You don't have control. Like, she literally told me that probably every week for many years. Like, to that point, you know what I mean? So it's like, I know exactly how that feels. But it is interesting. I was thinking about it. I was like, I could feel myself getting ready for some, like, tough love with you. Like, I was like, I could feel it coming. But then you were like open and then, like, went, and I was like, but in, like, this, like, I was like, I will come with you. I will hold your hand. I will set up a fucking meeting for you. Like, I am there. But I was like, if this had happened, like, one more time, it would have gotten a lot sterner. Like, I was ready to be like, no, we're like, because now it also, like, affect, like, I'm in your circle, so I'm, like, side swooping in the cycle with you, and I'm like, I will not be in that cycle ever again for the rest of my fucking life. So and it's, you know, it doesn't mean that I didn't fix it by going to one Al-Anon meeting, but I definitely want to relinquish responsibility. Like, no, but you could have very easily been like, no, like, I don't think that's, like, you know what I mean? Like, you could have just stayed in it. Like, no, it'll probably be better in a couple days or something like that. Like, kind of response, you know? Which I've done. Much different. So I'm really, really, really proud of you, because I know that that's really scary to go to those things.
So that's where I am.
Yay.
If anybody needs to, you know, we're always open. It's the only reason we talk about this shit, so that, well, it's not the only reason. I like talking to my best friend, but one of the reasons is so that, like, you also can listen to people and not feel alone.
Yeah.
So
you're definitely not alone.
Yeah.
Well, yay.
Also, Zoom Anonymous is fucking great. Like, literally not having to drive somewhere and just being like, click.
I would think so. Did you have to turn your camera on? I was wondering that.
You don't have to. It didn't look like it. And, like, the very beginning, they're like please, they're like, please be in this meeting, like, away from other people, which, like, I am, but it's like my apartment is such that, like, Eric might have to walk by in the background, so I would just turn my camera off if he did that, because, like, I knew he wasn't listening. He has headphones in, but it's like I didn't want to trigger anyone, so, like, that was good, because I could just be like, boop, and then come back.
That's nice. So that's good. Well,
so there's
big weeks for us.
Very big weeks, because otherwise it's all the same. It's 2020.
Do you want to hear about a movie?
Very much so.
I hate to tell you, I'm so sorry, I know you're having a tough week, but
animal horror?
No animal horror.
Okay, great.
But you are going to hate the questions for this.
Cool. Great. Love it. Well, honestly, now it's going to be better because if I was preparing for animal horror and there's no animal horror, then...
Yeah, actually, you know what? This is looking up. It's just
Great.
puzzle horror.
Oh, fuck you. Okay. Okay. All right. Go fuck yourself. I got it. Cool. Great. I will be getting 0 out of 1 million.
Because this is Escape Room.
Oh, go fuck yourself. Cool.
All
Right.
right. 2019.
Okay.
So, this is our Thanksgiving week. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, you guys, for
Happy
Americans.
Thanksgiving. Stay home.
Yeah, hope you're having a great time inside your apartment box like I am. But yeah, I was like, I looked up, I found like a listicle of like Thanksgiving horror movies, and then I put them in Patreon and took a little survey, and this got the most votes. And so I'm not going to lie, you guys, I don't know if people want me to do this. I didn't want to do the one Thanksgiving horror movie that I do know about, which is like Thanksgiving with the fucking turkey. I just didn't feel like it, you guys.
I hear you.
You can at me, you can DM me on Instagram if you want me to do it.
Yeah.
Next
but
year.
Also, like, yeah, here's
but
the
also,
thing.
I didn't feel like it.
Yeah, we're going to be around for a long time. And also, like, for whatever reason, the calendar has worked out that Kim keeps, like, having to do certain movies. So it's like, give it a break, guys.
So I don't know. I haven't seen it. It is what it is. I didn't feel like covering a killer turkey this week. So
great.
Instead, these were like a list of movies that take place like during Thanksgiving or something like that, and this got the most votes, and I was like, well, this looks good, I'll do it. So
into it. I can't wait. I wanted to see this. 2019.
The writers are Maria Melnik and Bragi, Bragi. I don't know how to say that.
Bragi.
Bragi. Who they've both written a bunch of things, none of which I knew much about unless you're a big Ninjago fan.
Which I am.
Bragi's done that.
Cool.
Possibly created it. I don't know. But
is it? He's Ninjago himself.
He
what is
Ninjago?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I assumed it was like an anime-y thing.
Yeah,
but
like,
I really
is it a
don't
person?
know.
Is it a style?
So
Is
maybe
it a
Bragi
dish?
is Ninjago.
Maybe that's what I heard.
Wow, cool. Do you know that the new Batwoman that's on CW is a girl I know from fucking acting class. So proud of her. I'm so excited for her. But
Ruby Rose?
no, there's going to be a new Batwoman.
New Batwoman. Okay. Got it. That's exciting.
Yeah, and she's black.
Good for her. Good for her.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
So like they're like filming it right now. Like she's like in Canada filming it.
That's so great.
I'm assuming it's CW because that's where all those
I
shows
think
are.
it is
But,
CW. Because Eric and I tried to watch Batgirl with Ruby Rose.
Okay. Yeah.
Who I love to look at. Like, I desperately
Same.
want to have sexual relations with her.
Same.
Like,
Yeah.
I want her to tie me to a bed.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't... I love you so much, Ruby Rose. That doesn't translate to, acting ability.
Oh, I've only seen her in Orange is the New Black, so I don't know.
I think that was
That was
her
made for her.
wheelhouse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas, like, this was...
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Haven't seen it, but
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, I don't know what. Oh, Ninjago. I was like,
Oh,
I don't
right.
know how that came up, but no. But I was like, I saw it like on her Facebook, and I was like, I didn't fucking know you were the new Batwoman. Like, congratulations, girl. Are you kidding me?
That's so fucking incredible. That
He
makes
was
me really
like,
happy.
Yeah. So cool.
So we're doing the new Batwoman. Great.
Yes.
As cool.
The director is Adam Robitel, and he did Insidious Last Key and also A movie we've done called The Taking of Deborah Logan.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. That is The Taking of Deborah Logan.
So,
Adam Robitel, that name is so I think we follow each other on Twitter.
yeah, we follow each other on Instagram, actually.
Oh, great.
I guess we're all friends with
I
Adam.
guess we're all... He's coming over for Thanksgiving, actually.
Oh, great.
No, he's not. Stay home.
He's zooming in.
Yeah, zooming in. We have been talking about Zoom for 1 year, and you are just now doing a Zoom Foley sound effect.
It's because we weren't zooming in before. It was more of a noun.
Yeah, now
It's
we're
the first
zooming
verb
in.
that I really had for it. Okay.
All right,
Alive.
here we go. Yes.
Zoe.
Alive.
Jason.
Dead.
Ben.
Dead.
Dale.
Dead.
Dale/Mike. It's whatever. Danny.
Alive.
Amanda.
Dead.
Game Master.
Alive.
Okay.
Bring on the puzzles,
So-
you bitch. I'm fucking furious. I love it.
If you haven't heard Ketryn discuss escape rooms on the podcast before, she will proudly say that she loves to be the controller of the room, like she's talked about, the delegator, but not the figurer-outer of
The puzzles.
the puzzles.
No.
So,
Listen, I know my strengths, guys. That's also how I would be president. I'm going to delegate people smarter than me and be the face of the White House. I'm running 2024. Goodbye.
but unfortunately in this one, you're going to have to puzzle it out.
Great. So none of my answers can be delegate to you?
No.
Tell me the answer.
I'm so sorry. I'm
Okay.
so sorry.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So we start in a very fancy looking library, like home library room. It's a library / hearth room. There's a fancy. There's a fancy.
There's a fancy? I'm not familiar with this.
It is fancy. And there is a fireplace. And that's how I like to call.
Yep.
There's a fancy. So there's books with like a little ladder to climb up them. You know, there's like a chessboard, like all dark wood. Like it's your. I mean, calm yourself, Ketryn, because it's your jam.
Yeah,
There's like
that is
a globe. You know, it's just everything you can imagine.
Yeah, this is fully
Fancy
pornographic.
hanging things, like just it's your jam. A lot of dark wood. It's gold looking lamps, you know, maps.
Stop, you're making me uncomfortable.
I am so sorry. It's just
I don't want people to see this. This is a very private experience.
It's all I could think about was when I saw it was you.
Go on.
And then a guy falls through the ceiling.
Sure.
And he lands and he's like panicked. He's like, ugh! And then he like runs to the door, and the door has like a weird puzzle kind of thing on it where it's like clearly there's 10 numbers all around and there's 4 in the middle. So it's like a 4-digit code that he's looking for. And
is it a circle?
No, I mean, I'm not going to ask you any questions about this. So you don't need
great.
to figure it out because it's a windy, weird looking thing.
Great.
So he like just starts to move one number just to kind of see. And then the wall behind him starts moving towards him.
To smoosh it?
Slowly. Yeah. So then he's like, clues. I got to look for clues. So then he starts looking around, and I think there's like a sign or like a painting or something that says like, follow light to greener pastures. And then he's like, follow light, looking around. And then he sees like a green book on the edge of like a shelf. And then he like climbs the ladder to that falls, but he grabs the book. And in the book it says, at any point in history, to watch another die unveils time's great mystery. while leaving you alive. So he starts looking around. He's like, okay, time, like clock, 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 clock. I don't see a clock. And then he's like, sees like above the fancy, AKA fireplace, AKA hearth, is like a couple different like framed like old timey paintings or pictures or something like that. And in each one is someone pointing.
Okay.
And they're all pointing in different directions. So he starts and he's like, oh my God, okay, hands on a clock, hands on a clock. So he looks at like whatever way they're pointing and he's like, okay, 4, 8, 6, 2. And so he like runs back. Mind you, the entire time the room is closing in. Like it's just like the chess thing's being knocked. Like it's just like tumbling everything with it, you know, coming towards you.
How far down your very first page are you?
I'm 3/4.
And this is already what I look like. I'm already so stressed out.
Hands on head.
Okay.
Hands on forehead, stressed out. He puts in the code and the wall keeps closing and it doesn't work. Like it's not stopping. And also like the code is like, it like basically each number is at the corner and then it has to take like a tiny line all the way through. So he's like, like it's taking a really long time. But
like
then,
a rotary phone trying to dial 911.
Yes, he's rotary phoning this code in.
Yeah.
So he gets it in, doesn't stop, he's like starting to get smushed. All the things are like coming together. So he's like climbing on top of stuff and like banging on the ceiling. And then like the wall is just like starting to smoosh him and he's screaming. No. Cut to black. Then we have some credits. Escape room.
Okay.
Now we see a cityscape. It's Chicago, Illinois.
Hey.
We see a girl in college kind of walking across campus and it says 3 days earlier. She's now in like a big, you know, college classroom and the professor is talking about how a watched pot never boils. And he's like, in quantum physics, that might be true. And it's called the quantum Zeno effect, which I know as the observer effect, because we talk about this a lot in manifestation. And there's like a whole thing called like the double slit experiment. And it's a lot about like, well, let me explain what he says. Okay. So, and he's like, can anyone tell me like what the quantum Zeno effect is? And she writes on her paper that a system can't change while you're watching it. And he's like, anyone? And she kind of like starts to raise her hand like a little bit and he like sees but like doesn't really want to answer. So he's like,
sorry.
Yes. She excuses.
Yeah.
Again, if you haven't heard this story previously on the podcast, that's Ketryn making fun of me for being hungover in Vegas one time trying to get away.
Go back and listen to all 117 episodes. I'm sure I talk about it.
I don't know when it is, but we do. So, but eventually she like puts it down and turns out she's right though. He says that observation stops movement. Atoms won't change while you're watching them. Okay. Basically. So in you know what? I'll do a whole postmortem on this because in manifestation, it's like a whole thing about like that all the different dimensions exist at the same time. Like in somewhere we're like, I live in Philly in some other dimension and da-da-da. Mm-hmm. So they're all like current like possibilities, but that's why like things like changing your beliefs and like visualization and stuff like that can like now turn them into reality. Mm-hmm. Blah, blah, blah.
Cousin and I'll talk about this in a postmortem. Cousin and I are living in 2 strings. One where she introduced me to the show Transparent and one where I introduced her to the show Transparent, and we got confused about which string it was, and we're currently living both strings. I'm not joking. Oh my gosh,
you're in a Mandela effect.
Yeah, so we'll postmortem that.
So then class is over, everyone's leaving. It's the Thanksgiving break. So he's like, have a good holiday, and he has to talk to our friend. Her name is Zoe. And so Zoe has written a paper on the quantum Zeno effect. And clearly it was very good. He can tell that she's like super smart, but like doesn't want to like share it with the world kind of thing. Like she's shy about it or whatever. Right. And so she's like, okay, I'll try and speak up more. And he's like, I want you like to try, like I don't want you to like contain like this from the world sort of thing or something like that. And so he's like, I want you over the Thanksgiving break to try one thing that scares you.
Oh, okay.
Cut to a motorcycle pulling up. And
Kim, please be careful not to do that when I have a full mouth of hard seltzer.
I'm so sorry. And hot business dude gets off, and like he's clearly Mr. I'm great at my fucking job business guy.
Oh, sure.
Like then he's just in the office on his Bluetooth, just fucking talking to
Right.
And
I know this fucking guy.
Like then his like young assistant comes in and says something to him about Mr. Miyagi, but he's like, oh my god, are you too young for that? Whatever. But he just like clearly made a deal sale call performance.
I think it's called a deal sell call.
He did it good. He did a good one.
Good deal sell call.
Yeah,
nice.
So they he's like,
Kim and I both double majored in business, clearly.
So he then his boss calls him, or whoever the fuck, somebody's going to be happy about this, and he's like basically telling his assistant, he's like, he's probably going to give me a gift for this one, blah blah blah. So then dude calls and he's like, oh, your private jet to Tahiti, oh, sounds great, da da da. And he like writes on like a post-it note to the kid, like, download Karate Kid.
Okay.
Cut to Mr. Miyagi on a black and white TV.
Oh,
The Karate Kid.
yeah.
And we kind of zoom out, and we're in like the back of a grocery store, and there's a guy there from the fucking beginning. He's
shit!
Like a shaggy-haired kind of dude, a little more like could be a stoner kind of thing look to him.
Yeah.
And he's just putting the little like boop boop tags on grocery things
On the groceries.
with
yeah.
the little.
I
boop,
know the
boop
little gun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And his boss comes in, and I guess someone left or whatever, and so he asks if he's like, I heard there's a position opening up front. Like, would I be able to move up front? This guy's name is Ben, and the boss is kind of like, oh no, I'm so sorry. It would be kind of like bad for business to have you up front. And the kid's kind of like, oh okay, yeah, no, totally, whatever. I got it. I didn't fucking want to do customer service anyway.
Bad for business. Okay.
And then we see that he has like a flask that he keeps on him.
Okay.
And the boss is kind of like, maybe find like healthier ways to unwind or whatever.
Oof.
So now we're back to the office with hot business guy, and he gets another gift. The assistant brings in something, and it's like this like fancy looking black box, and he opens it, and inside is this like stealthy looking black puzzle box.
Okay.
And it's like a really nice card. His name is Jason. So it's like, Jason, for always thinking outside the box. And he's like, okay, whatever, and like puts it on the table. And the assistant's like, okay, well, have a happy Thanksgiving. And Jason's like, yeah, whatever, dude, I'll be back tomorrow. Like, he's like coming into work on Thanksgiving,
Right.
And then that's the last we ever hear about Thanksgiving.
Great. Hey, they said it. They said the word.
Thanksgiving movie.
Yep.
Ta-da.
Well, I mean, that's really sort of indicative of what everyone's Thanksgiving should look like this year.
Mentioned twice, moving on.
Yeah.
So now we're in a dorm room, but like the hallway, and everyone's partying and stuff. And like Zoe's just like walking through with her books, like trying to get to her room.
Aww.
And her roomie offers to like have her come home for family dinner with her. And Zoe's like, no, it's not like really my thing. And she's like, plus I'll like have time to myself to work on cubic conjecture, blur, 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 blurb. And
you nerd. Well, little nerd.
And the roomie's like, okay, sure. And she like leaves. And then Zoe's sitting on the bed, and like the mirror starts to shake a little bit, and she like gets up and goes to it. And it's one of the mirrors like how you had in your dorm that had like a sink to it. Like that's kind of the thing they have. Mm-hmm. And so she goes up and like stands up from it, and she's like, not again. And then she looks, and she kind of starts like panic breathing a little bit. And then all of a sudden she's like in an airplane bathroom, and people are screaming, and it's like alerts and stuff. And then she wakes up.
Oh.
And she's in bed, and the roomie is now like packing her bag to actually leave for the weekend. The Thanksgiving weekend.
Mentioned it again.
Hey.
It's official. This is our Thanksgiving episode.
And as roomie leaves, there's a package on the floor outside. And so she gives it to Zoe, and it's from Zoe's professor. And she opens it, and the card says, "Open new doors."
Okay.
And it's the same black puzzle box.
Oh, dear.
Now we go to the grocery store, and it's like early morning. Our friend Ben is like clocking in, and sitting on the table, it is a note to him and the same black box, and it says, "A chance to escape."
I'm nervous.
And now it's kind of a montage between the three of them trying to open the box.
Okay.
And so Zoe is, of course, like puzzle working it. And Ben at the grocery store is just like pounding it with a hammer. And
me.
And then Jason in his office is watching a YouTube video of like puzzle boxes.
Yeah.
So it's very much all their personalities.
Yeah.
Very, you know. And they all kind of like open bits and pieces here or there, whatever. And then a card pops out.
Okay.
And it says it's a ticket to an escape room. And you can win $10,000.
Sure.
So now it's the next day, and Ben is standing outside like this like huge like 15-20 story like building and like smoking a cigarette. And a car pulls up, and the redhead from True Blood gets out.
Oh.
Remember her?
Yep. I do exactly.
So she goes inside and like checks in at the front desk, and at the front desk they take your phone because they're like, oh, like it's, you know, we don't want you fucking twittering any of like the puzzles or whatever, blah.
Right.
And he's like, okay, it's on the 3rd floor. So she gets in the elevator, and as she's walking in, the front desk guy is like, "Thank you for your service," and she just makes that face like she's kind of like, okay, and then just gets in. Like it was
To
just
Zoe or to the redhead?
to the redhead.
Okay.
This is the redhead.
Got it.
So redhead's in the elevator, and right as the door's about to close, another guy gets in. And so this is a guy in glasses, and he immediately pulls out a phone and is on it, and he's like, "I always sneak a second one in. The waiting rooms can be super boring."
Ugh. Okay.
I
I don't know why, but I hate him.
Okay. He's not the person you should hate.
Hey, don't tell me who to hate, Kim.
I'm just telling you who the story wants you.
I have enough hate to go around.
Other people.
Okay, got it.
He's delightful.
Okay.
She goes in, so she gets off the elevator and goes into the waiting room, and there's a couple people sitting on the couches in there. It's like a big fancy waiting room with like, in the center is like a table with couches around it, basically. Mm-hmm. And then on the side is like one of those little windows where you'd kind of like check in or sign in or whatever, but it's closed, and it's, you can't see through it.
Okay.
So she goes and knocks on the window to check in, and a lady says, "Please have a seat. Someone will be with you shortly." And then she goes and sits down next to another guy who is the one, the only, Dale from Tucker and Dale.
No!
Dale!
I love you.
I love him. I just love him. Oh,
I'm
God.
going to watch that again.
I just want to
That'll
watch
make
that
me happy.
every day of my life.
It's so
God,
good.
Dale. So
That's the movie I want to tell Peg and Skip to watch. Mom, if you're listening to this, watch Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
oh my gosh, can't recommend it enough.
Yeah.
So his name's Mike in this, so I call him Dale Mike.
Sure.
Redhead's name is Amanda. And so they do a little introduction, and Dale Mike is like, "Amanda, oh, we had a family dog with that name. He was a husky collie mix. Had 2 different color eyes."
I love you, Dale. I love you, Dale. I love you.
And then we see that Zoe is sitting there. And then Jason, business guy, is sitting there. Glasses guy with the extra phone comes and sit in. His name is Danny.
Okay.
And Jason, business guy, we can see kind of like on his hand, he has like a little bit of a scar or something like that. He's someone I feel like I recognize him, and then when I looked him up, like he's on the show Insecure, but I couldn't notice much else. But I feel like you would recognize him. He's very cute.
Yeah, I'm sure I would.
But anyway, so he has like a little bit of a scar on his hand, and like Glasses Danny is looking at it, and Jason's like, oh, like hitchhiking accident. And
Hitchhiking accident?
He's just being a dick.
Oh, okay.
And Danny's like, oh man, well, can you still play video games?
Oh.
And Jason's like, no, I have sex with adult women instead of
burn. I'm sorry, I loved that burn.
But so you like see who's everyone's personality, true, like they're very specific characters, in a great way. And so Amanda's sitting across from Zoe, and she's like says hi to Zoe, and Amanda says to Zoe, like, yeah, obviously Zoe's real shy and stuff, you know, and she's like, do I know you? Like, have you been on TV or something like that? And Zoe's just like, no, like just real shy.
Mm-hmm.
And then our friend Ben, Stoner Ben, comes in, Flask Ben, and they're all kind of now just like sitting around the table waiting. And Amanda picks up one of the papers, like newspapers from the coffee table in front of them, and the front headline says 5 people burned alive. And she gets a little
upset,
panicky reading that, like a little
right
kind of. So we're just notating that. And then Glasses Danny is now kind of like up around the room, and he's so excited for this escape room. He's like,
cute.
Well, I've done 93 rooms. I've done this one, blah, 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 and this one, da, 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 da. And so they're talking about escape rooms and stuff. So clearly Danny is like the expert.
The expert, yeah.
And Dale is just kind of like, I don't know, like my nephew signed me up. Like he said this place was voted #1 or something like that. And Amanda's like, I'm just here for the 10 grand.
Right.
And Mike says like, yeah, I drive an 18-wheeler. And I hear that there's going to be like self-driving cars soon, and that we'll be the first to go. So I'm trying to like stockpile some money or something like that.
Oh my God.
And Glasses Danny is like, I mean, it's an insane cash prize. Like this place must be like super hard to like have that, you know, and like I've heard that no one has ever won.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And they're kind of like, so what are like the rules, you know, like what do you do? And he's like, well, you just have to escape before time runs out. And they're like, what happens if you don't? And he's like, oh, some guy comes in through the door and explains all the clues that you messed up and you feel dumb.
Yeah.
And
been there.
And they're like, when do you, I still never been. I've still never been to one.
I know. It breaks my heart because I feel like you'd be really good at them.
I think I'd love it. I think I'd love
You'd be really
it.
good at them, and I'd be like exactly split down the middle of impressed and furious at how good you were at it.
I just think I'd have so much fun. But together we'd be a great team in like
That's true.
What's that game we used to play in college that everyone would be mad at us for?
Cranium.
Yeah.
Cranium was a great fucking game.
There was even a couple of things in this where I was like, I know what that is, but I couldn't quite get the word. So it's like, together, our powers combined.
So good at that.
So then they're asking Danny, like, so when does it start? Like, what's the deal? You know, and he's like, oh, there should be a games master, and they'll come in and, like, give us the story of, like, what, you know, the theme is. And Ben is like, okay, well, while we're waiting for games master, I'm just going to go smoke a cigarette. And so he starts to go outside, and then the handle of the door to leave the room just pulls off.
Ner. Uh-oh.
And then we see that there's like cameras kind of in the room. You know, those little like circle cameras.
Yeah, like the one
things.
that I have to spy on who is leaving poop in my yard.
Exactly. So those are all kind of in the ceilings of the rooms.
Great.
And Dale gets up to look at the handle, and then Glasses Danny is like, oh my gosh, this is it. Like, we started.
Oh shit. Okay, here we are.
So they all go look at the handle, and like where it got pulled off, it looks like an oven dial with numbers on it.
Okay.
And so they're like, okay, it must be some like combo lock or whatever. Like, okay, Danny's like, we need to search. It's a puzzle. Like, it's a code. We need to like find numbers, you know?
Right.
So they're all looking around, and Zoe happens to pick up like a mug with pens in it, but it has like an airplane on it. And it says like, we know you have a choice. And then Amanda's looking through the magazines on the coffee table, and they're all dressed to the same person. And she's like, that has to mean something, right? It says Dr. Wu-Tan Yu. And then Dale happens to pick up a book, and it's Fahrenheit 451, the book Fahrenheit 451. And he opens it, and inside, like prison style, is like a little screwdriver.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
Zoe sees the book. Question number 1, what does she do? What do you do?
Zoe sees the same book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That he's holding.
Yeah. And when you say prison style, like the pages are cut out so the screwdriver fits in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know prisons, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Really, I'm like Shawshank Redemption style. Like, I don't even know.
But I'm also like, apparently I do. Okay. I think she, rather than paying attention to the screwdriver, is like, try 451 on the dial. And we do that together. By the way, almost, okay, I can tell you this right now.
Puzzle, bitch. Look at
Thank you. I can tell you this right now. 100% of my answers are going to be hand in hand, because I promise you, if I can come up with an answer, that'll be the only thing I can come up with.
Well, fucking first one, and you got a double ding, so.
Thank you.
Look at you
You
go,
explained
bitch.
it really well. Thank you.
I did. I was trying to, I was trying to help you out.
I know. Thank you.
So, she's like, Fahrenheit 451.
Blueberry mango.
Delicious.
Wild basin.
She's showing
Fucking
me
delicious.
more of her sparkling water. She's side YouTubing her review right now as part of our podcast.
Yeah.
She's really trying to sell it.
I am. Okay, keep going.
So back to my story, back to this thing we're doing. Not your YouTube channel,
Not my
Ketryn.
YouTube channel.
Y'all know you're a YouTuber now.
Yep. Follow me on TikTok for all my hard seltzer reviews.
So she goes over to the oven knob and turns it. And then the ceiling starts glowing red and hot.
Uh-oh.
And they're
Like
all
an
like,
oven.
yeah. They're all like, that's hot. No, turn. And it won't turn. They can't turn it off.
Buckles.
And so they're all getting a little toasty, but they're like, Danny's like, we need to find another hint. Like, so next they go over to the window, like the check-in window, and they kind of go knock on it. And she says, please have a seat. Someone will be with you shortly. And then like they knock on it again, and she says, please have a seat. Someone will be with you shortly. And so Zoe's
It's
like,
a recording.
She said it the same way. Yeah. And Jason happens to be standing over somewhere by himself, and he picks up a snow globe that has like a sailboat in it. And that definitely strikes him as something.
Okay.
And on the window, though, is like a little lock to open it.
Okay.
And Danny's like, locks are super important. Okay, we need to find a key. So it's looking like we need to find a small key. So they're looking for the next clue. And Ben is just like, why don't we just fucking break it? Here, I'll just pull off this fire extinguisher. And Danny's like, no, I mean, we shouldn't need to use force for anything. But
What a
Ben,
nerd.
he's so sweet. Like, he's
Oh.
adorable. And so Ben just like pulls the fire extinguisher off the wall, and it ends up being plastic. But once he pulls that off the wall, then the columns all around the corner of the room start glowing red
No!
and hot.
I'm hot! It's steamy!
And Danny is just kind of like, wow, this is really immersive. Like, ooh.
Yeah.
And Zoe goes and looks at the fire extinguisher on the floor, and she pulls out like the little pin, and it ends up being a key.
Oh, cute. Okay.
So they go and open the window, and there's a lady in there, but it's a mannequin, and she's just like holding a phone, looking all creepy.
Yeah.
And the phone starts ringing. So Jason answers it. Business Jason. Do you know everyone's name by this point?
I got that it's Business Jason, Dale, Ben is shaggy grocery store,
Yep.
and Danny is good at the rooms.
Yep.
And Zoe
Yeah.
and redhead.
Amanda.
Amanda is redhead. Okay, got it.
Okay, cool. So he answers it, and it's recording, and it says, "Welcome to Minos, like the best escape rooms, blah, blah, blah. Please make sure to follow all posted rules." And he hangs the phone up, and then the walls around the little sign-in area start glowing red and hot.
Shit!
And then fucking like blockades start moving up around the windows.
No! I'm hot!
And they're all getting hot. There was one thing that bothered me because Amanda starts really freaking out. She's starting to have a little bit of a panic attack, but they're all like talking about how hot it is. They just keep saying how hot it is, but they also happen to be dressed in many layers. Where I'm
So
just
take
like,
off some layers.
take off your things. And like one or
Yeah.
two people do, but I'm just like, Zoe, yes, you took off your jacket, but now you have a sweater on top of a button-up shirt. Like,
Right.
that seems hot.
Yeah.
Jason still has his like suit
jacket on.
Like
yeah,
a bunch
take your
of them.
clothes off.
Like one or two people took off like a jacket layer, but then like, you know, they still had many more layers, and I was like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah.
Like I was like, but they're like, it's so hot. I'm so hot. I'm sweating. Like, oh my God, it's getting really hot. And I was like, your behavior is not in
And
alignment.
it's like maybe the thing to do to get out of this escape room is to get so hot that you take all your clothes off and fuck each other. So
hey,
like I've been to escape rooms, you have to be open to like
Those are
what
the
is the
rules.
puzzle. Yeah.
Those are the rules.
Sometimes you end up having a fuck
Orgy.
each other puzzle. Yeah.
puzzle
And
orgy.
Puzzle orgy, yeah.
Yeah.
So you haven't done them before?
No. What? Is that what that was that I did?
It was. You were solving a puzzle.
Oh. I didn't. Oh.
You were
That's
helping
an
somebody
escape
else.
room.
That is an
Interesting.
escape room. Yeah, orgies are escape rooms.
Huh. Wow. Good to know.
Yeah, congratulations.
I'll add that to my resume. So, then some other walls come up and fans start blowing. And they're like, are they blowing hot air in here? So it's like legit an oven.
Oh my god.
And
Oh my god, it's going to go up to 451 degrees.
probably. And so Amanda's like freaking out. And there is on the wall like a water container thingy, jug pour.
Water cooler. Yeah.
You know where the people stand with the business
To talk about
standing corner.
what was on The Bachelorette the night before.
Yeah, and then all the biz call sales they made.
They do talk about the biz call sales there.
So, and then there's a bunch of like glasses like for that. So, not like the little paper thingies, but
Okay.
so, she's freaking. They're telling her to like go drink a glass of water, and other people are like, okay, like they were like, follow all the posted rules. So they're all like looking for posted. They're like, where the fuck are posted rules? Like what?
Right.
I don't see any rules. And Zoe goes to help Amanda at the water cooler, and Amanda does take off some type of jacket at that point, but she still has like a long sleeve shirt on. But you can see like on her neck, there's a bunch of like scars, like burn scars,
Like Nev Campbell style in The Craft.
yeah. And so Zoe gives her a glass of water, and they're all looking around. They're all talking about how hot it is, and Zoe sees a sign that says, "Please use coasters at all times."
Okay.
So then she immediately goes to the table in the middle of the room and pushes like away the magazines. And then there's like a little circle on the corner that she like pushes down. Like it's like the coaster basically, but it goes down into the wood. And then a painting on the wall slowly starts to lift up that has like a duct in there.
I love this.
And so they're like, oh my God, you did something, Zoe. Like, what did you do? And so then it turns out like they're all around the edges of the table. So there's 6 little coaster holes. So they all start pushing them. And then the painting lifts all the way up.
Okay.
So Zoe is pushing Ben, Shaggy Ben, and then Dale and Danny are all like holding the things down. So Jason and Amanda are standing up, like looking at the duct thing. So Jason's going to go in and explore.
Okay.
So he finally takes off his jacket so he can crawl in.
Sure.
It's getting like super fucking hot in the room. And Danny's like, yeah, but I'm really excited for the next room. And they're like, next room.
Yeah.
So Jason gets like pretty far in and he's like, hey guys, there's a grate in here. We need that screwdriver.
Oh, the screwdriver.
So then Amanda goes and holds the coaster. So our friend Dale Mike crawls in with the screwdriver. And they unscrew it and they're like, okay, like there's a way through, whatever. Like, come on, everyone, come in. So Amanda goes in next. And like, but as she like is at the duct, it does like this weird like zoom into her. Like she's a little freaked about like going into this space.
Yeah.
But she crawls in and Ben is like, I mean, like, is anyone going to talk about like the inevitable of us running out of hands to hold these coasters down?
Oh, right. Because they all have to hold them down in order for the painting to stay like up. Okay.
Yeah. So question number 2, what do you do? What does Zoe do?
How many coasters are there? 6. And how many of us?
So right now there's 4 of us. Wait.
Okay.
No, 3 of us because it's the 3 that are left at the table are Danny, Zoe, and Ben.
Okay, and they're basically using like both their hands.
Yeah.
Everybody's okay. So I am going to have who is like at the duct but hasn't gone through the duct yet.
Amanda's inside, and then Dale and Jason are inside.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is have one of the people that does not have their hands on the coasters fill up a bunch of the water glasses from the water cooler to put each of them on the coaster to like weigh down all 6 of the things so that the thing stays open hand in hand.
Double zing, you're getting out of this fucking escape room.
Oh my God, I feel like I'm actually in an escape room. I'm so excited.
You are orgying it up.
Yeah. Why am I so red?
Impressed.
I'm so excited.
So she goes and gets water and puts it on the coaster, but it's like not heavy enough. The glass needs to be completely full.
Okay.
So she goes and fills up another, and that's what she realizes. Amanda, meanwhile...
A Monday.
Because I just write A, and so I was very strongly saying A, but it's short for Amanda.
But we're only calling her A Monday now, right? Right? Yeah.
A Monday.
Yeah.
A Monday is in the duct, but she didn't make it to Jason and Dale yet. She's like having a panic attack inside, and then she has a flashback to being in war, and she's like crawling out of like a vehicle. There's like explosion, clearly an explosion. She's like bleeding. There's a dead body on the ground.
And she was the one they said thank you for your service.
Yeah,
PTSD. Got it.
but clearly like they knew that about her, and so but the people inside the oven room can like hear her kind of like freaking a little bit. So Zoe is like, okay, like I'm coming, Amanda. So now Zoe is going in to help Amanda. So we still in the oven room have Danny and Ben. So they're frantically filling up the cups. But remember, so Zoe gets in and she's like telling Amanda to breathe, and she's like really sweet. Like she's such a sweetheart. She's like, you're not alone. Like just breathe. Like it's going to be okay. Like she's very, very sweet. And so back to the oven room, Danny and Ben need one more cup. But the water cooler runs out of water because Amanda drank some.
Okay.
There was only like exactly enough for 6 cups. And in this moment, the ceiling right above the table and couch area is like a grate, and those lights catch on fire as if it's a stove.
Fuck.
Question number 3. What do you do? What does Ben do?
I have to pee really bad right now, so I'm going to pee into the last cup all the way up to the top. I think he uses his flask and fills it up.
He does use his flask, and
Oh my God.
I'll accept pee. Sure.
Yeah.
If you got enough.
Can I go pee now, though?
Absolutely.
Great. Okay, thanks.
So yeah, he fills the flask up, it fills the cup, and then Ben runs in through the duct, and Danny's like behind him, but the stove starts to slowly move down.
Oh, God.
And then as Danny is like getting into the duct, the stove shoots fire out of it. So then it blows through the duct. And so the other boys are, it's like right as the boys are getting out to the other room.
Yeah.
And the fire kind of like blows in after them. And it turns out they're crawling out of like a fireplace in the next room.
Oh my God. And they're like, this escape room is not up to safety codes.
Yes. And that's exactly how Amanda feels, because she's
Yeah.
freaking the fuck out. Like, Danny's like, this is very immersive. And she's like, this
Yeah.
is fucking real.
This is
Like,
illegal.
This
Yeah.
is not like a game, you know? And like, I don't know, someone talks about the 10 grand or whatever. And she, and Jason is like, well, it's 10 grand and I don't lose.
Okay, Jason.
And Amanda's like, okay, but I'm done. And she kind of just starts yelling at the camera. She's like, I'm out. I'm done. Hello. Goodbye. I don't need to fucking be part of this. So the room they're in now is a cabin. So there's another not fancy, fireplace.
Sure. Yeah.
Another
I was
fireplace.
like, well, it's a cabin, so it's
Yeah,
not a fancy.
It's not. I'm so sorry. It's a
It's a rustic.
It's a rustic. And you know, all things that are in a cabin. And then there's like a bunch of like antlers on the wall and fucking cabin shit.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a door that has 2 locks on it. So Jason goes immediately to that.
Mm-hmm. Do I need to know what kind of locks they are? If not, just skip it.
You will.
Okay, great.
The first one is just a key.
Okay.
And he's doing that, like, so now it's like different people start doing different things, you know what I mean? And then other people are like fighting because Amanda wants to leave and she wants to call the cops, and then other people are looking for the key, and she's like, give me your phone, Danny. But
right.
Of course it has no service. And they're like, how long is this going to go on? And Danny's like, I don't know, like, I think the biggest one I've been in had like 5 rooms or something like that. And they're like, 5 rooms? And Dale's just like, great, we just need to do what we just did 4 more times.
Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just do it.
Jason ends up finding a key, so he unlocks that first one. The second lock is letters, and it looks like they're looking for a 7-letter word.
7-letter word. Got it.
And then above the fireplace, framed, it just says in quotes, you'll go down in history.
Okay.
So question number 4, what do they think it is? What do you think it is?
History. HISTORY is the 7-letter code for the lock. Hand in hand. Always hand in hand. I can just tell you it's going to be hand in hand the whole time.
Great. But you peed and they flasked, so.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. So I'm a liar. I lied about being bad at escape rooms. I really hustled you, apparently.
Except now you're completely wrong. Double wrong.
Oh, cool. Wow, back in my place.
That was a
real quick.
Perfect time for you to have said that statement.
Yep. Good for me. 0-0.
So Jason is like, you'll go to history. Okay. Presidents. What are 7-letter names of presidents? And then
You don't have to count this. Is it Rudolph? You'll go down in history.
TBD.
Okay.
And boop boop beep boop 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 boop. Oh, he's like, presidents. What are presidents with 7-letter names? And then Noe. No. Damn. Zoe. She starts.
Zoe.
Because I was saying Zoe just starts naming a ton.
Got it.
But she's like, Madison, Jackson, da 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 da. And like, Jason's like, okay, slow down, Rain Man. Like,
yeah, I can name 3 presidents.
And I don't know how many letters are in their name.
Yeah.
So,
Obama, Trump. That's it. I'm out.
So I can only name Martin Van Buren because we have the same birthday.
Well, great. We have 4. Between the 2 of us, we know 4 presidents.
So they start putting names in the lock, but Ben is kind of looking around at the antlers, and he sees that there's each antler has a little letter at the bottom of it, but there's 9 antlers, so 9 letters. And then he has a flashback, and it's him driving, and like a bunch of friends in the back. They're clearly all wasted, and they're all singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and they're like partying, and he's like, "Rah-rah-rah," and then it's bright light car honk.
Okay.
Accident, we can assume.
Yeah.
And he starts looking at all the letters on the antlers, and he's like, Dasher, Dancer, Prancer. And he's like, Rudolph, it's Rudolph. So yes.
Yay. Thank you.
It is Rudolph. That's not a point. But
no,
yeah.
it's not.
I would have accepted presidents or Rudolph.
Thank you.
But you
what
said
did I
neither.
even say?
History. You didn't even try to solve the puzzle. You were like, oh, they said the word history. I'll use that word.
That's more par for the course, how I roll escape rooms.
Like I told you the clue. I was like, here's the clue. And you're like, the answer is clue.
Yeah.
That's what just happened.
No, that is, yeah.
Needless to say, you were right the second time.
How many letters does fluke have in it? Because that's apparently...
So they put in Rudolph. It opens.
Okay.
They go outside the cabin, and it's like winter time.
Oh.
And in this moment, I'm like, well, great. You guys didn't all take off all your clothes.
Right. Oh, okay.
But
yeah, that would have been
how
annoying.
Convenient.
Right.
So they all start to go outside, but Ben is still kind of like standing there, like staring at the antlers a little upset, you know? And like Zoe, of course, like goes and checks on him.
Oh, Zoe.
So they go outside, and again, there's cameras everywhere looking. And
but they're outside.
It looks
like they are outside.
Yeah, the cameras are like on the corner of the cabin sort of thing.
And like it's convincing that they're outside too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it is, we are in winter.
Okay.
And what they're standing on looks like ice.
Okay.
Like a frozen lake or something.
Okay.
And Dale Mike is all like, geez, hot to cold, that's how you get sick.
Love him.
So they all come outside, and then the door behind them closes and locks.
Okay.
So now they're standing on ice. There's like trees around with snow all over. And literally Dale is like, are we outside? And it's really cold. There is like a thermometer, and it says it's like 30 degrees and dropping. And it's kind of like they're like ice skating a little. So Danny starts to like go out onto the ice towards, like, it looks like there's mountains ahead. Like it looks like it like lasts forever. So he starts like kind of, you know, sneaker ice skating out into the ice. And they're like, be careful, you know, whatever. So he goes out, and then he bumps his head into an invisible wall.
Oh shit, fucking Wile E. Coyote style.
Sure.
Where he would like paint landscapes on the cliff.
Oh, okay. Yes. But the the more technological advanced version.
Yeah, exactly.
The more Black Mirror style.
Yeah.
So then he kind of like falls down, and the ice shakes, and they're all like, whoa, 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 whoa. And he's like, no, it's just a sound effect. Like, you know, like he kind of bangs on it, and it's like, nothing's happening with the ice. And he's like, then points at the cameras, and he's like, they watch us, so no one actually gets hurt. You know, like, can you imagine the lawsuits? Like, geez.
Right.
And then out of the invisible wall Wile E. Coyote thing, air vents open and it starts blowing in cold air.
Ah! I'm so chilly.
Yeah. They're chilly too. And they're like, oh my God, we need to start this fucking orgy because
to warm us
like
up.
it's cold. It's cold in here. So they're like, body heat. Let's all get together.
Sure.
And then someone kisses someone, and then someone kisses,
And then
like,
things just start happening. And all of a sudden, the ice is melting beneath us because it's getting hot.
So their body heating it up, and then someone is like, okay, well, we need to look for clues. So they start looking around, like, in the trees and stuff. Jason ends up finding, like, this big giant wall, but it has, like, a metal door there with, like, a lock. There's no even, like, handle, but it's just, like, it clearly needs a key. Somewhere else in the trees is, like, I don't know, a sleigh or something. And Zoe, like, wipes off a little bit of snow, and it says, True North is a lie.
Okay. True North is a lie. New notebook, guys.
New notebook. And I didn't buy a new notebook, so now I'm just writing in the back of a notebook that I use for, like, journaling. So
Oh, no.
I'm going to get desperate.
Yeah. You're, like, writing on a roll of toilet paper.
That's how it felt. Did I tell you my new way of taking notes to protect my hands?
No. So you don't get calluses?
Yeah.
How?
Because a lot of times, like, we're writing for hours and hours straight.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just scribbling away. And so, yeah, on the side of my fingers, like, it gets, like, dented and, like, hurts and, like, stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a real, that's like,
I'm horrified.
I know.
So, I wear gloves to my hand jobs. And so I just, like, now I just wear a glove and hold a pen while I
actually
write.
think that's
and it's really
totally
protective.
genius. That's genius.
It, like, my hands feel so much nicer. So that was our How to Take Notes podcast.
Yep. Sign up for our Patreon. This is the content you're missing.
Interesting. Dale Mike now sees kind of like a, I guess, stuffed dog or something like that, like a was a real dog sort of thing.
Oh, okay. Taxidermy
dog
that's
situation. And he has two different colored eyes.
Oh.
But he's clearly sitting and, like, head pointed up, like, looking towards something. Is
it a husky?
Yeah, he looked husky-ish.
Okay.
Which that was, reminiscent.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh, he was a husky collie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, which I guess this could have been. It's funny because my husky German Shepherd growing up had two different colored eyes. Buckers.
Buckers. I remember that.
Yeah.
Hi, Buckers.
Oh, I love him. God, he's the best. So Ben is just, like, somewhere alone, like, trying to light a cigarette, but, like, the lighter won't light. Like, he's just like,
yeah,
freezing light a cigarette.
Been there.
Amande is in the sleigh or whatever, finds, like, a big red coat with, like, a fur hood.
Nice.
And is like, oh, sweet. And Jason sees that coat and has concern face.
Okay.
Like, he's triggered. And Amanda starts getting all kind of uppity because she's just like, oh, one coat for 6 people? And she starts yelling at a camera somewhere, just being like, oh, you think we're going to fight over this? No, you can't get us. We're going to share. We're going to share this coat. She's like, Zoe, you go first. So she gives the coat to Zoe.
Amande is extra.
And so Ben is walking around lighting cigarettes, and he ends up, like, tripping, and there's, like, a big fishing hole. And so, like, part of his leg goes in, and he's like, that's fucking cold! Meanwhile, Dale was like, hey, doggy, where are you pointing to? And he's pointing up towards a tree and sees something, so he starts climbing the tree. Mm-hmm. Other people go over to the fishing hole, and they're like, what's this for? Maybe there's a clue at the bottom, but how can we get to the bottom? And then Dale comes down with what he found in the tree. It's a fucking fishing pole.
Fishing pole.
It's all working out. All coming up aces.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. They're getting a little bickery, though, between people,
Well, it's fucking cold.
It's cold. They're He's trying to survive, you know.
Yeah.
So Zoe, who's now wearing the coat, reaches in the pocket and there's a compass in there.
Okay.
And she kind of wanders off on her own as they're kind of bickering about shit, like whatever, about the fishing shit.
Right.
And she ends up finding like a taxidermy like bear or something somewhere that has like a big open mouth, like pointing or something. And she's following the compass towards north. And then she's like, true north is a lie, true north is a lie. So then she turns around and south is basically the bear.
Okay.
So everyone's fighting around the fishing hole, but they drop Jason like grabs it and he's like, we need to just drop the line to the bottom. So he just like releases it and it goes like really
all
deep.
The way down. Oh,
and they're like, oof.
Because somebody almost just fell down that fucking thing.
It can't really fit a person.
Okay.
Like it fit his leg, you know, but it's not really person sized.
Okay.
You could probably squeeze yourself in there, but you're not. Yeah, Dale's not going down there.
Okay.
So, Jason is like talking about how he hates the cold, you know. It makes you crazy. He's like, that's why I spend like my winters in Kauai or something. And Ben's like, yeah, me too.
Fuck off. Fuck off is right.
So now Zoe's like reaching inside the bear mouth and she finds something. And cut to Ben kind of like starts to walk away from the group. Like he goes back towards the cabin and he's trying to he starts smoking a cigarette. So Amande's like, can you not smoke that by me? So he goes off by himself.
Okay.
Zoe comes over. What she found is a big magnet with a little hook around the edge.
Okay.
So they're like, oh shit. They hook it up to the fishing line. And now Jason is like, okay, Zoe, your turn is done with the jacket. And he takes the jacket from her. And they put the magnet down the fishing hole. Mm-hmm. And he starts bringing it and he's like, oh, I got something. And it's like something big. It's like heavy. So they start like reeling it up.
Okay.
And what they end up pulling up is a giant cube of ice that has like a metal around all the edge of it.
Okay.
Metal rim kind of.
Yep.
And you can see inside the ice is a key.
Okay.
So they start like slamming against a tree, but they can't break it because it has that metal rim around it.
Right.
Question number 5, what do they do? What do you do?
Do they take Ben's lighter and try to melt it with the lighter hand in hand? Wow. I just didn't want to embarrass you, so I got those last two wrong.
Right. So they're like, Ben, throw us your lighter.
I mean, honestly, you're handing these to me. It's very sweet.
And he's like all pissy, so he just like throws it kind of towards them, so it just lands in between them like on the ice.
Okay.
And so Danny is going to go get it, so he kind of shuffles over and he picks it up. Explosion! And Danny falls into the water.
What?
And then he's like stuck under the ice. Like he kind of fell in, and so then they can see him through the ice at other parts, and he's like,
oh my God. By the way,
yeah,
that is
nightmare
fuel? My nightmare. If somebody said you can either be buried alive in the dirt or stuck under ice underwater, I would pick buried alive under dirt every time.
Yeah, it's serious nightmare fuel.
It is mine. Like that is my nightmare.
Because also you're cold too.
And move on. I'm having okay.
So Amanda like wants to like go in after him, but they stop him because there's a current underwater. Like even if you get
it's
to
clearly
him, like
pulling
you're not gonna be able to find the hole.
Right.
So then they all start like looking through the ice and like banging on it, stuff like wherever he is. They're just like trying to find him, and then it kind of gets quiet. And we do like a bird's eye view, and they're kind of all in one section, like looking at the ice, and we see him on like another side, like slowly stop moving and then drift away.
My nightmare.
And Jason says to Amanda, "You were right. This is real."
This is real. Oh my God. I'm terrified.
So sweet little Danny.
Sweet old
He's
Danny.
dead.
And he was our game master.
Yeah, I mean, he was the one who knew how games worked.
Poor little baby.
So when that happened, they were all busy with the whatever the fuck, the fishing hole area. So Ben was on the other side, so he's the only one that saw it. So they were like, "What the fuck happened?" You know, like, and then they start like blaming him. And they're like,
Okay.
like, how do we know? Like, you know, Danny mentioned something about a games master. Maybe the games master is already here. Like, you know, because they're like, what happened? Like, how did that happen? He's like, I don't know. There was just like an explosion, and then he went into the water. And they're like accusing him of being the game master. And then this is the best. So he's like, I work at a fucking grocery store. Like, Jason is the one with the American Psycho vibes over there. And Dale is the one with like the creepy truck stop guy. Zoe, no offense, I'm sorry, but it seems like your parents locked you in a basement until you finished your homework.
Oh God.
And Amanda, like, what are those scars from, you know? And Amanda's like, I survived, or I was in Iraq, asshole.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's like, okay, like, what does that make you? Like a psycho Xena something? I don't know. Like, he's just trying to...
Losing steam.
Yeah. And he's like, all I'm saying is I'm the least suspicious out of everyone. Like...
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
And Jason is like, okay, well, regardless, we're going to fucking freeze to death if we stay here. So we need to get that key out of that ice. And now that the lighter is gone, what do we do? Question number 6. What do you do and what do they do?
I'm going to get a rock and that screwdriver and I'm going to chisel it out. Hand in hand.
I'll give a point for you.
Thank you.
They are going to do more body heat.
More. Like.
So they're just going to
Okay.
put hands on it.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I think mine's better.
Jesus. You know?
Right. When the age-old biblical tale of Jesus melting the ice.
Mm-hmm. He put hands on it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then they had an orgy.
Yeah, and then he turned that water into wine.
And then they had an orgy.
Yep.
So
the biblical orgies of yore.
he's like, the lighter's gone. We need to get the key out of the ice. And Zoe's like, the lighter's gone? Like, Danny is dead. You know? Like,
right.
What the fuck? American Psycho, you fucking...
Yeah. Escape. You haven't been in one? Escape rooms do that to you. They get you all puzzle vision.
Vision happens. I bet.
Yeah.
Well, he brings up hypothermia. He's like, look, like, it's fucking serious. Like, you get disoriented and confused no matter what fucking, how smart you are and da-da-da-da-da. Like, so we need to put our hands on this ice. Mm-hmm. So they're all sitting around and it starts melting. And then Dale eventually, like, puts the jacket on and he kind of, like, holds the ice with the jacket. The temperature's getting lower and, like, they're kind of talking about, like, who might have done this, you know, like, because Jason's like, they clearly thought of every detail. And he has a flashback to being cold on a boat next to one other person who's wearing that exact red jacket with the hood, furry hood.
Okay, so somebody, I mean, clearly, like, whoever the game master is has done research very specifically on these people. Down. Okay.
Yeah. And at that point, Dale kind of, like, falls over, like, falls backwards, like, he's so cold. And so the ice kind of tumbles out, and Jason sees that we can get the key out now. Okay. So he pulls it out, and then he stands up, and he gets up, but he's all, like, definitely hypothermiaing because he's all, like, getting a little confused and a little, like, where's the jar? Like, running through the trees a little bit.
Yeah.
He eventually finds the door and he puts the key in, but it won't open. He's like banging on the door, but he turns the key and across the ice by the Wile E. Coyote wall, that opens up.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it's like all the way on the other end of things. And so they all start running towards it. And as they're kind of shuffle running over the ice starts exploding at different points.
Oh,
like, pew,
God
pew,
damn
pew,
it.
pew. And so they're all fucking skating in. And finally, Ben is like the last to slide in. And everyone's okay, but they're like breathing heavy and fucking freezing. And they realize that they are now in a pool bar, a pool table bar.
Oh.
Ketryn got really excited about a pool bar and way less excited about a pool table bar.
I was so excited. I was thinking a swim-up bar.
Oh. Aren't those the best?
Oh, my God, they're the best. Kim, when this is all over,
Yes.
want to go to a fucking swim-up bar?
Yes. Yes. 1,000 times yes.
Yeah, God damn it. Oh, God, that's going to be great. Let's put that on the horizon.
Yeah.
Like, when this is over, we get to go to a fucking swim-up bar.
I'm in.
Oh, yeah. And we can, like, find a really good one, like, really, like, gauge where we're going based on who has the best swim-up bar.
Big time. I think the last one I went to was in Turks and Caicos.
Ooh, yeah,
that was a
girl.
nice swim-up bar, let me tell you.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, but we're not in that. We're in a billiard room.
A billiard room.
Okay.
Yes. And we're on the ceiling. It's upside down.
Okay.
So everything that would be on the floor is like glued above you, I guess. So the pool table is above us with pool balls on it and all the things. The bar is above us. We're on the ceiling, and like next to us is like a fan sticking out and like lights that would be hanging.
Wow. All the stuff that I want is on the ceiling.
Mm-hmm. We're in the upside down.
Downland. Shoot.
So all of a sudden, the entire room kind of starts moving as if it's like an elevator going up. Like they're just like, "What's happening?" But they're like, but they could tell that they're moving up. You know what I mean?
But the whole
thing.
Okay.
It's just like, "Ooh," and they're all like, "Ah," and they're kind of like, "How many floors is this building?" And Amanda says it's 15 to 20 floors, so they're clearly like moving to the top of the building. And then the phone rings. On the corner, on the little side of the pool table is a bright red phone, and the little speaker falls down.
Okay.
It's a QWERTY phone, a push button QWERTY phone.
Push button QWERTY phone. Got it.
And it falls down like towards them, and we hear signing into
like
AOL.
A fax.
Oh, no,
AOL.
like an internet. Oh, I gotta
Got
work on my internet fully. Sorry.
You do. Yeah. It's okay. It was your first time.
It's gotta be real high pitched.
It's got to be like so high pitched.
Yeah, that
I
might
think
be
you
out of
have
my
to
range. Or at least
maybe
take
just
some rehearsal.
You got to warm up.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Next time. So, internet sound, and then music starts playing, and it's downtown, but kind of like through a shitty radio. Yeah,
Okay.
a little bit. And they're like, Ben is like, "Oh fuck, we have to listen to elevator music now." So they're
That is
looking
the
around, and there's like a door somewhere, and it has no handle. So they're like, "Okay, clearly we need like a doorknob."
Oh, okay.
And they're all looking around, and Dale is like, "The pool table, it's missing the 8-ball. Maybe we have to find the 8-ball."
And that's going to be the knob, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then we hear internet sound again, and part of the floor falls out below them.
Which is the ceiling?
The ceiling floor.
Okay.
And Dale almost falls.
Oh, Dale!
So
Be
like
careful!
basically it's like lines entire. So it's like from one end to the other, it's just like an entire section just dropped
Okay.
down like what basically now looks like a giant elevator shaft.
Be Careful, Dale.
And they're all like, holy shit, get off the fucking floor. So then they all start kind of just holding onto the sides and they're like standing on like the molding basically.
Oh my God.
And like grabbing onto shit. And then we hear internet sound again and the music comes back on. And someone's like, what is this? Like musical chairs or something, you know? And so then Amanda starts fucking getting all like Superwoman, American Ninja Warrior shit. And she like jumps up onto the bar. And then she takes her top shirt off and is wearing a tank top and has like a bunch of scars on her back.
Okay.
And she starts looking around and is straight, like seriously American Ninja Warrior now because she's like doing that thing where you like hold your hands and legs to like
yes
the sides of the wall because she's like up in the air.
Yeah. And is she doing her own stunts, this actress? Can you tell?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh,
I'll
I was
post
just
boredom
curious.
it.
I just, that would be like very impressive to me if she was like actually doing that. Anyway.
Couldn't tell you. So she is kind of like crawling under like the behind of the bar, and they're like, oh, look at this, look at that thing, like telling her look at things, and she's like at the underneath there's like a lockbox that has a 4-digit code.
Okay.
So like, okay, we need 4 numbers. And Dale's like, try 1, 2, 3, 4. She does.
Dale. I mean, you gotta try it, I guess.
And that shockingly doesn't work. And he's like, okay,
Yeah,
try
sure.
1, 1, 1, 1. And Ben is like, well, we know what fucking Dale's passcode is.
Yeah.
And then Zoe is looking around and she sees like up on the wall is like kind of a bunch of, it looks like album covers basically on the wall. And she's like, that's like a giant sliding puzzle. So
Okay.
she slowly climbs like over the whole part of the ceiling floor to the other wall to get to the puzzle. And now Dale crawls over to go help her, and he like lifts her up so she has to like stand. She's standing like on the wall of this puzzle, and she starts like Rain Man Rubik's cubing it.
Okay.
Around.
And it's kind of like there's one open space,
Yeah,
so
it's
they
like
can
slide
it.
slide. Yeah.
Got it.
Internet sound again. Another part of the floor falls. It's like under Jason, but he's like holding onto the wall, and he's like, ah,
Shit.
internet. And then the song starts playing again. So now Ben like runs and like jumps over a hole towards where like Dale and Zoe are. And then Zoe finishes the puzzle.
Okay.
And they're like, okay, it looks like colors. And like a bunch of different colors. And like someone's like, is it Morse code or whatever? And they're like, okay, it's 2 lines in a circle. So it has 1 yellow line, a black circle, and 1 blue line. What do they do? What do you do?
This is a giant wall-sized picture that she has made, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And the colors of the albums are creating like a mosaic that has a pattern.
Yes.
And the pattern is what again?
1 yellow line, a black circle, and a blue line.
And we need a number code.
Correct.
This is where I would delegate.
This is when I'm like, all right, pull your dicks out.
Yeah.
Start this thing.
We got to orgy it up, everybody. Okay. A yellow line, a black circle, and a blue line. Are the lines vertical or horizontal?
I couldn't really tell. I could barely see what they were talking about, to be honest, but they described it that way, and I was like, okay, got it.
Okay.
I was like, I'm not seeing that, you guys.
Yeah.
You had to suspend some disbelief.
Okay, this is not correct because I'm out of luck. Again, this is where I would delegate. So I'm going to delegate. That's going to be me. I'm going to delegate to Zoe. I think she's
Zoe.
really
You are Zoe. Like you're all of them right now. Could be anybody.
I was trying to find a loophole. I'm trying to number Roy G. Biv, basically, of the rainbow is what I'm doing. So, like, and then black would be the last number. So it's like ROYG, whatever that is. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. 0 points.
Sure. Yeah.
I think Dale says they're billiard balls.
Oh.
So a yellow stripe is 9.
And then a black circle is 8.
And a blue stripe is 10.
10.
So they
which
say
is 2 numbers.
9, 8, 1, 0.
That's smart. That's smart. That's smart.
It is.
I'm pissed.
And then the internet sounds again. So they all jump on the wall. Another part of the floor ceiling falls. And at this point, the part of the wall where the puzzle is, Zoe is hanging onto that, Dale's hanging onto that, and Ben is hanging onto that. And it's kind of like a shelf or something is put, so they're all hanging onto that. And above them, a screw comes loose, and the wall starts to fall backwards. So they're starting to fall into the ceiling floor hole.
Okay.
And so Jason's all like, Dale, get off there. You got to move. Like, you know, and he's like, I can't move anywhere. And Zoe's like, okay, I'll move. So she starts to try to like climb off of it. And Jason climbs like around the other way to try to help her. And she's like trying to like reach for some pool sticks that are on the wall. And she's like reaching. And then the wall falls more. And she falls backwards onto the floor ceiling and like kind of passes out. And she has like a little bit of a flashback to an airplane.
Okay.
She's in the airplane, like upside down because and then she's is like, Mom. And so Mom is like strapped into a seat, like upside down.
Oh,
and she's like,
no.
"Ah." And clearly it had been like in an accident, you know?
Yeah. And we saw that airplane mirror thing.
Right.
Okay.
And so Jason wakes up, like jumps down and wakes up Zoe. And Zoe's like, oh, I'm so sorry. They put in the code, the 9810, and it doesn't work.
God damn it.
But Zoe like now wakes up and she's like, we're upside down. And they're all like, help her up. And she's like, the room is upside down. So maybe the code is upside down
1,
too.
8, whatever.
Yeah. So she's like, try 0186. And that works.
Yes. I got it.
And you did.
Thank you.
And she opens the lockbox and it's an 8-ball that is also a handle that can be screwed in. And then it's internet sound again. Another part of the floor ceiling falls. Jason like jumps on the wall because it was like right under him. I guess Zoe's already gotten up, I think, somewhere. And he's like, that is the second time that this floor has tried to kill me. See, he climbs up to like where the door is. Amanda now like has the ball handle.
Okay.
So she fucking puts it in her pocket, jumps from the bar to the fucking pool table. So now she's just fucking like holding on with her fingers on the side of the pool table, just hanging.
Oh, God.
And below her is emptiness. Like
Is
there's no
emptiness.
floor below her.
That is for sure where I would die. Anytime you ask me for upper body strength,
Yeah.
I must
She's
extricate
like-
myself.
This isn't even like upper body strength. It's just straight like finger
Finger
strength at this point. Like,
yeah.
ah.
And what do we do? We don't.
It's just not for us. We delegate American Ninja Warrior jobs to other people for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
I don't know what else, right?
Yeah. Or we just like really start doing some serious upper body.
We're just,
Just doing push-ups with just our fingers.
they start lockdown and we're just doing pull-ups,
Yeah.
fingers. Just not.
We're prepared.
We just go through army montages.
Yeah.
Lockdown.
I don't know if it's a bad idea.
I know we're laughing as if that's a bad idea. Like that's
Yeah.
probably would be great for us.
I know.
I don't have any desire, but look, I'm down to work out during lockdown, but I don't really want to do chin-ups with my fingers.
Yeah. But, might be what's required of us, so.
I guess.
Always doing work on ourselves, guys.
We're going to prepare for the apocalypse, I guess so.
Yeah.
So she's, then we hear the internet goes again and the music starts again. So she's now just like monkey barring around the side of the fucking pool table. And at one point, like, lifts her legs up to kind of get a break. And then the 8-ball, now she's like moved over a little bit to the side. The 8-ball falls out of her pocket.
No!
Onto the floor. Ceiling.
Yeah.
But it's like the only strip left.
Right?
So it's like starting to roll off of it. Question number 8. What does she do? What do you do?
Oh, I'm having trouble, like, seeing. Okay, so, like, I'm hanging on the pool table.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The floor is below you.
Like, directly below me?
Yeah. But it's one strip left.
Okay. So I already swung one of my legs up for a break, right?
Both your legs up, so you're, like, holding yourself.
All right. So I'm going to do full monkey bars holding on with my knees type shit.
Okay.
So that I can reach down and grab the 8-ball, and we're gonna do that hand in hand.
I mean, you can't reach. That would assume that from floor to ceiling is your height, from your knees to your head.
Right.
It's a higher ceiling than that. I was gonna say. The ceiling of this billiard bar doesn't hit your hands when you lift them.
You know what? I feel like you're laughing at me and I don't appreciate it.
So sorry.
I don't appreciate it.
Just saying it's pretty far down. Like, it's a ceiling height from a room.
You know what? Fuck you. Okay. I still want use of my hands, so I'm still going to do my thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I need a grabby. Mm-hmm. What grabby do I have? Where are my other peeps?
They're all, like, on the side, kind of where the door is. So they're all, like, crowded in one wall space, kind of.
And the floor is like strips of floor.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And the 8-ball's rolling off.
Well, since you hated my fucking idea.
I mean, you can try it.
Because I'm supposed to know how tall ceilings are in, like, every room.
You're welcome to try it.
No, it's fine.
I'm just letting you know.
Not gonna
work.
No, I'm gonna fucking jump down onto the one fucking floor thing, and I'm gonna grab the ball, and we're gonna do this shit hand in hand. I'm
just picturing you monkey barring it and just reaching down, and it's like you're literally just like as tall as the pool table.
I'm picturing me in a room where it's only as tall as I am on my knees lifting up my hands. What room is that? Other than like some sort of McDonald's play place situation. So I'm going to jump down onto the floor and I'm going to grab the thing and I'm going to throw it to the other people and then book it to where they are. Wow, I really look like I'm running. Look at this. Look, I'm like really running.
Wow, send this to Sinka's your accountability workout picture. Went for a run today.
I did. Here's the proof.
So stupid. Oh man.
I really look like it. Shit.
Okay. That's a point for her.
Thank you.
She does jump down.
But it doesn't
She
work.
grabs it and we hear internet sound.
Ah.
In that moment, she throws it to Jason. The floor ceiling drops and she grabs onto the fucking phone handle that's been hanging there.
Oh, I forgot about that phone handle.
She's grabbing the phone handle and nothing is below her now.
Right.
Empty, just shaft. And they are kind of like Ben's like holding out like a pool stick towards her, like, here, like grab it, but she's like
Can't.
they're far. So it's like he's literally just holding out a pool stick.
Right.
She's holding on for dear life to this fucking phone handle.
Yeah, and I don't remember phone handles that well, but I don't think that like the connection between the cord and the phone was like weight bearing.
That's true. Yeah. There's also not a lot of grab space. Like, can you also imagine just like that I save myself by grabbing onto a pool stick?
Yeah.
So anyway, she's like, they're like, you can get it. And she looks at them and she's like, it's okay. Drops. And so he's just like, no, and like freaks out.
What an amazing sacrifice. God.
Mm-hmm.
I can only hope that if I am put into a situation where like my life saves a bunch of people, that I'm that chill and I just go, it's okay. When in actuality, it's going to be going, save me, you motherfuckers!
Honestly, same.
And then I fall, and as I'm falling, I'm like, you asshole!
Fuck you, you're not.
Oh shit!
I mean, it's
Okay.
pretty far. We could yell a lot of things down that
Yeah,
shaft.
that's true. We could have a whole monologue.
To be or to not to be.
I'm sorry. Kim's death monologue is the monologue from Hamlet.
That's the first thing I could think of.
Kim's fucking death monologue is Hamlet's soliloquy.
I always wanted to play Hamlet, and this is my moment.
It's so funny how you thought you weren't a theater nerd, or like we had to bring you in when your death monologue is the fucking soliloquy from Hamlet. You fucking theater nerd.
Theater made me that way.
Oh my god, that's the best thing I've ever heard. Okay, continue. Where are we? What's
happening? We've just sacrificed ourselves,
great,
dramatically and
Sure.
selflessly.
Yeah,
And
won an Oscar for our death.
Jason immediately like puts the handle in and goes into the next room. And they go, and Zoe is like just sitting there like still upset. And so Ben like helps her and is like, come on, we need to keep going, you know.
Dale's
brings
still
her
alive,
into the next
right?
room. Yeah.
We've only lost
Two.
Danny and Amon Bay. Okay.
So, yeah. So now it's Jason, Dale, Ben, and Zoe.
Okay.
They walk into a room and on the door it says triage. And it's real dark, and then all of a sudden like bright lights come on like above them. They start looking around and Jason's like, you know, Zoe's just like in the corner very upset, and Jason's like, come on, Wonder Kid, we need your brain.
Yeah.
And Ben's like, can you give her a fucking minute? Like, Amanda is dead.
Yeah.
And Jason's just like, look, we need to figure this out or we're going to be dead. It's survival of the fittest.
Yeah, he's got puzzle vision.
And Ben's like, can you stop being a fucking dick?
I cannot.
And Zoe then is like, Amanda was not weak. She sacrificed for us.
Yeah.
And Jason's like, great, well, let's not waste it. So then
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Jason's not wrong.
Yeah. He's not wrong, but he's being a real heartless dick about it.
Yeah, he's being a dick about it. Yeah.
So then more lights come on around the room, and there's a bunch of hospital beds.
Okay.
And they each start looking at separate ones and recognizing them. And someone is like, this is my room. Like, it's exactly the same. And they pick up their charts, and it has their names.
Oh, fuck.
And, like, each room is kind of different. Like, you know, like, there's literally, like, one has, like, flowers and cards from people in it, you know. And they're all like, it's my bed. And Jason picks up his chart, and it says hypothermia on it. And Zoe goes and gets another chart and says, this is Amanda's. It was an IED blast. She was the only survivor.
Okay.
And Zoe now says that she was on a plane with her mom backpacking in Vietnam. It crashed into the jungle and it took them a week to find her.
Ugh.
And Jason's like, I remember that. You were on the news.
Oh.
I remember when Amande was like, were you at TV?
Oh! Yeah.
And Jason was like, I was with my college roommate and we like took the boat out, like the sailboat out, and a wave flipped it. And like I reached for a line and almost took my thumb, which is where he's like the scar. And he was like, so they're on like the upside down of the boat and it's like wet and freezing and we only had one jacket.
Oh.
And we're kind of like, as they talk, we kind of see some things or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And it's the red jacket, obviously. And he's like, my roommate start getting really aggressive and confused. And he's like, signs of hypothermia, they told me at the hospital later. And he like thought he saw something and like swam off into the water.
Oh.
And the next day, the Coast Guard found me alone.
Wow.
And so it was kind of like the guy swimming off and like Jason trying to stop him and stuff like that. And Ben now says, I was the first out of my friends to get a car. And it was winter break and I wanted to take everyone for a joyride, but we were wasted. And then Dale says that he was working in a mine in West Virginia with his brother. There was 11 others and there was a cave-in. And he's like, my brother was pinned like nearby me. I couldn't see him, but I could hear him. I could hear him suffocating slowly and I heard him take his last breath. I was the only one alive.
Fuck.
And Jason's like, they knew everything, like the jacket, like they, and Ben's like, Rudolph, like that's the song that was playing when we crashed. Like, but the boxes that we received were like from people that we trust. And Zoe goes and picks up Danny's chart and it was carbon monoxide. Everyone in his family was killed but him.
Fuck me.
And
I hate this.
Zoe realizes soul survivors. We're all soul survivors.
Oh.
And she's like, it's a statistical improbability. They want to see who is the luckiest among the lucky.
Ah!
I know.
I'm so tired.
I know. I already survived something.
I already did this. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden a TV turns on the wall and it starts kind of playing like a commercial almost for like surgery. And it says, do you have the heart to let Dr. Wu Tan make you a better you?
That was the guy that the magazines were addressed to.
And it says, open new doors by testing your limits. Live life to the extreme.
No.
And then a countdown clock starts.
Fuck.
5 minutes.
Ugh. Okay.
And Zoe is like, they chose us to see who's the last person standing, but we can't keep playing by their rules. And Ben's like, dude, they're watching us. And again, there's cameras like all over and like all of the ceiling. Like they know every move that we make. Question number 9, you're Zoe. What do you do? What does she do?
They're watching us. The TV came on. It's all of our records. The hospital beds. Soul survivor.
You're getting into your Rain Man part. This is good. This is good.
Mm-hmm. What was the last thing that somebody said before they're watching us? They're watching us everywhere?
She said, they chose us to see who's the last person standing. We can't keep playing by their rules.
And I'm in like a hospital hallway, wing, if you will, with like a bunch of different rooms.
Yeah, and things you'd find in a hospital.
I'm gonna hand in hand grab some hospital accoutrement and break all the cameras. Hand in hand. Yes.
Do you know why specifically?
Because it's the right answer. I know.
Okay, well, I'll let you know. So
Thank you.
So he's like, they're watching us. Cut to everyone else is like, we need to find clues, obviously. So Dale, in one of the charts, ends up finding some x-rays. And he's like, and it's like x-rays of like hands making symbols, sort of.
Mm-hmm. Sign language.
And
this is how I am in escape rooms. I just yell things out and hope, some of my spaghetti sticks to the wall.
So they go put the it's like 3, and they go put them on like the light board for x-rays, but it's like 0, 1, 2. 0, 1, 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got it.
And they're like, oh, is it whatever, trying to figure it out. And then Ben like turns a couple of them and he's like, EKG, it's sign language. Yeah. And he's like, Mike, she only knows this because I've made a symbol that looked a little bit like sign language with my hands when I described it. And then fucked it up by doing that too early instead of doing 0, 1, 2s.
Yeah.
And he's like, I have a cousin who's deaf. Like, they must have known that too. So they're like, EKG machine. And then Zoe busts one of the cameras. She takes like one of those poles that hangs like your fluids or whatever.
Your IV on it. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And like breaks one of the cameras. And she says, quantum Zeno effect.
If you can't, if you're watching it, then it doesn't do things.
Change. Yes. Atoms won't change if you take continuous measurements.
Yeah, that's what I said.
The observer
and that's
effect.
why you break it.
As long as they're watching us, we can't change our state.
Yes.
The game is designed so they always win.
Right.
And then she hits
know.
the next camera.
Uh-huh.
So good job, you, Ketryn.
Thank you.
And they're all like, what are you doing? And she's like, we have to find another way out. Mind you, the countdown clock is now at 0. And as they're looking around for an EKG machine, all the boys are trying to find the clue situations, and she's just busting cameras.
Sure.
Fucking Rain Manning about quantum Zeno effect and shit. So, as they're looking around, Jason sees on the wall like a canister that has poison on it, and he's like, I think poison is going to start coming out of here in 3 minutes.
Ah, shit.
And so they're like, we need to figure this out. Like, Zoe, like, calm down. And she's like, stop telling me to calm down. And Jason ends up finding the EKG machine. And he's like, okay, like, maybe, like, the right heart rate could open the door. So Jason tells Ben to do it. And it's like the thing where you put the little circles on your chest and then it tells your heart rate. And so Ben does it. He is 92 and it says fail. And then Jason tells Dale to do it. And he's like, we need a higher rate. We need a higher rate. And they start like bickering and stuff like that. And Ben, meanwhile, is like trying to calm down, like stop and calm down Zoe.
I think they need a lower rate. I think they want someone who can stay calm.
Oh. Well, Dale puts on the EKG and the numbers start going up. It's like 130 and then 140 and it says fail. And Jason's like, okay, like kind of the TV thing is still playing. And he's like, testing limits. We need to go higher. And he pulls out the paddles. And Dale's like, no, man, no. And he's like, no, this is what they used to like revive me when I had hypothermia. Like, that's why they put this in my room because they knew I would know.
Yeah, but if you use that on a live person, their heart could stop.
And Jason's like, come on, man. Like, come on, like, man up. Like, in 1 minute now, the poison is going to, like, come in here and suffocate. You're going to suffocate like your brother did. Like, save us, you know?
Oh, shit.
You
save us, Jason.
Question number 10. What do you do? What does Dale do?
Dale does it because he's fucking Dale. And he's delightful and a wonderful person.
Dale.
That's not going to work. Like, that's not, you defibrillate. It's electrocuting a moving heart. That's not going to work. I mean, am I a fucking martyr? But I want to stay alive. I want to stay alive. I'm going to grab the defibrillators real quick and defibrillate the other one. I'm going to be like, nope, you're defibrillated. Staying alive. Goodbye. I don't like either of the plans, though. I was trying, can I just tell you some dumb thing I was trying to do, which I don't think it is?
Sure.
I was going to try and wait till the poison comes through and let someone's heart stop while the rest of us hold our breath, and then defibrillate the dead guy, and then see if that opens the thing and we can all run out.
Okay. Well, point for Dale.
He grabs it?
Dale's like, do it.
Oh, do it. Oh, that's right. I said he. Okay, yeah.
So he shocks him, and the number goes up to 220. And then he does it again, but, like, now Ben sees what's going on. He's trying to stop him. And Dale's, like, shocked and, like, falls back onto a bed. And I think he does it again and like, flat lines. But it went up, like, super high. And then it says fail on the machine. And Ben's like, he's not breathing. And Jason's just, like, testing limits, you know, like, still trying to figure it out. And Ben's, like, trying to fucking CPR, like, Dale in the bed. And Zoe's just hitting fucking cameras, like, because she has to, like, stand on things. And, like,
Sure.
so she's moving shit around to, like, and because this ceiling is, like, not, like, the height of just, like, her waist to her tip of her arms.
Yeah,
like the last
I hear
ceiling
you.
was.
Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm.
So, so yes, she needs to stand on some things.
I
To reach
sense
the ceiling.
that you're making fun of me.
I was just clarifying.
Yeah, just clarifying.
Now that I know that you have trouble with ceiling height.
With ceilings. I do have ceiling lexia.
Right. Yeah. So I just wanted to be clear. I know this.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
I know this about you. So, so Jason is all like testing limits, like go to extremes, like, okay, like extremes, like high, low, high, low, high, low. Like we did the high, and then the countdown hits 0 and the poison starts like coming out into the room. And Jason now puts the EKG on him, and he just sits and he's like, we need the low end. And now people start like coughing and stuff, and he like meditates.
I knew it.
And his heart rate goes down to 50, and it says, congrats. And the light board where the x-rays were actually swings open like a door, and it's another kind of little duct crawl through thing.
Okay. And did we lose Dale? We didn't lose. Did we lose Dale?
So Jason goes in.
Okay.
And yeah, I think by that point, yeah, because Ben was trying to give him CPR, and he's like, I don't even know how to do this.
Oh, poor buddy.
So yeah, at that point, the door opens. Jason immediately goes. Ben goes to Zoe because he's like, there's a way out. Like, there's a way out. We need to go. Like, we need to go this way. And Zoe's like, this is the way out. And she like hits something, and she's like, go. And she's like coughing and stuff. And so Ben goes. And Zoe smashes a camera, and then the light board door closes. And Zoe like kind of falls to the ground, but she's like crawling towards something, and she like just stops like so close to like a tube sort of thing.
Okay.
Cut to Ben and Jason now in the next room. This is like a trippy looking room. Like, so there's one big wall that's a static TV, and then all the paint on all the wall looks like static. Like it's a black room with just white little dots kind of all around it.
Yeah.
And it's like different heights and things, and like it's just weird. And there's like a chair in the middle or something, and I think with like another TV like sitting in front of it, and Ben's all like we should have made her come, you know, like, and Jason's like, it's her decision.
Jason.
And Ben's like, what the hell is wrong with you? And Jason's like, I saved our asses. You're welcome. And he's like, you killed Mike, Dale.
Yeah.
And Jason is like, no, sitting on his ass for 12 hours a day killed him. If it wasn't this room, it would have, or wasn't that room, it would have been the next.
Jason, you don't have to be an extra dick.
And that's exactly how Ben feels, because he's like, is this something you do? Like your friend on the boat? One jacket between the two of you? How convenient that he swam off into the water and died. And now we're seeing a different thing where Jason's putting on the jacket and he's like holding his friend underwater. And Ben's like, you being the sole survivor had nothing to do with luck.
Wow.
And then he pushes Jason and is like, you killed him. And then Jason throws him against the wall and starts kind of choking him. And Jason says, surviving is a choice. Make yours.
Oh my God.
And then he lets him go. And they're like, we need to find clues. So in the center of the floor, there's like a big turn handle, like a hatch basically on the floor.
I mean, Jason's definitely a Sammy, but I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, right? I mean, he's a sociopathic Sammy.
Yeah.
I don't think that we want those Sammys.
No, but technically he does qualify.
Sure is staying alive.
Okay.
So they go sit by the turn handle and they're like, should we open it? You know, like, because Ben's like, well, what are we letting in? So finally Ben just like tries it, but it's like too hard. He can't. So Jason helps. So they both like turn it and like lift the handle, and then they look at their hands and like their fingers are all long, and then like their faces are melting, and they're like starting to freaking see shit because they're like, whoa, what is this? What's happening? And they're like, there must have been drugs or something on the handle. And on the hatch door that they had lifted, in like serial killer cutout letters, it says, feel free to leave, but may we note it's best to find the antidote.
Okay.
So they're like, we gotta get the antidote, but they're both like falling around the trippy room, and they're tripping. And then like the center of the floor, I think, is a circle that starts to like slowly spin, but they're all like, whoa, trying to find clues. Ben ends up kind of like hitting a wall sort of, and a little drawer pops up, and inside is a needle, and there's a little sign that says antidote, 1 dose.
Shit.
Question 11, what does he do? What do you do?
Surviving's a choice. I'm going to give it to myself. And Ben found it?
Ben found it.
I'm going to give it to myself without alerting Jason. And I think Ben's going to be like, I found it. Yes.
He says, I have it. And Jason jumps on him. And then they start fighting over it, but the room's moving. And Jason, like, does something, like, twists or breaks his leg or something to Ben. Like, I don't know. He, like, does something, but I couldn't really tell.
Yeah.
And, like, grabs him and grabs the antidote, but then Ben tackles him. And then Ben, like, the thing starts, like, swirling away. So then, like, Ben goes and grabs it, and he has it, and then he stabs his leg. And the room stops spinning. And Jason is dead? Question mark.
Okay.
It was hard to tell what happened. If he either got like tackled or like just whatever they had. I think.
Yeah.
Probably more so the thing that they had.
Yeah.
Like he's just laying there like dead. So Ben goes down the hatch.
Okay.
And falls into a library room.
Oh, here we are.
A fancy hearth room.
Yep.
That we recognize from the beginning.
Right.
And he runs up to the door and he's like, okay, I'm looking for this number. And then the wall starts moving to smush it.
Right.
Cut to hazmat people. We kind of see like boots walking in and then we hear some like people over walkie-talkie sort of things. And they're like, we've got 2 bodies over, copy. And they're like, oh, it will be 20 minutes disposal and cleanup. And we see them walking by Zoe's body on the ground. So they're in the hospital triage room.
Okay.
Talking about cleaning up 2 bodies.
Okay.
Meaning Dale and Zoe.
Dale and Zoe.
And hazmaters are kind of like looking up and there's like a oxygen mask like hanging from the ceiling or somewhere, I don't know. And they're kind of like, they kind of laugh like, what the hell was she going to do with that? And then behind them, Zoe stands up and hits them with the fucking pole and she says, breathe, bitch!
Yes!
Yeah! It was a real fucking scream moment. I'll send you a copy. Bam! Bitch went down.
I love that.
So she hits them with the pole and knocks them both out, and then she picks up their gun.
Okay, nice.
So cut to Ben being smooshed, and now it's like total smoosh. He's just crawling in between like all the stuff, and he kind of like squeezes into the fancy fireplace, but has like a shield, a decorative shield.
Sure.
That like I guess blocks the fire or something. But anyway, he kind of like squeezes in so he's like not smooshed.
Right. Now, smart.
As the room closes. And then I think the other side of the wall that he smooshed against like opens up and he falls out. And it's a doorway into this big giant open like warehouse space.
Okay.
And in the center are a bunch of like boxes, like those black boxes that like when we film things or whatever, you know.
Oh yeah.
It looks like the control room area pretty much.
Okay.
Like just set up in the center of this empty space. And on the wall is like a big giant screens with all of their faces on it. And there's a red X over everyone except for Ben.
Okay.
And then we just hear a voice say, "You were a dark horse. My money was on Jason. That's why these games are so fascinating." Ugh. Like, did you ever think that you had that in you? And then a guy walks in and he says to Ben, "Sit down, you won." So he's the games master.
And it's Billy the Puppet from Saw.
Hey! And Ben's like, "So what, this is what you do, like kill people for fun?"
Yeah.
And Games Master is like, "You killed all of your friends because you didn't want to pay for a cab. So I tone that down."
Wow. Wow.
So
Game Master, do not play. What an ironic name. The Game Master is not playing a game.
So Game Master talks about how since the beginning of civilization, like it's been captivating to watch humans like fight for their lives. That's where there was like gladiator games and like public executions and like rubbernecking on freeways. And the world has gone soft now. So this is a sport for people with a thirst for savagery. And some of the most powerful people in the world are involved. And now we see Zoe like climbing a stairwell.
Yeah, that's my girl.
Back to Game Master. He's like something about like more and more like every year it's like, you know, talking about how basically people are gambling on life and death, and that 1 year, like 2 years ago, they had college athletes. The year before that, they had savants. And this year, it's soul survivors.
Wow.
And people are betting on who's going to win, basically.
I hope they don't do a category for podcasters.
Oh, no. Well, we'd survive, obviously. I hope.
I mean,
That would
clearly,
be
I'm fucking killing it.
That'd be a real double loss.
If we
Womp,
lost.
womp. Yeah. Like,
What a letdown.
damn. So,
Our ghost would come back and just be like, come on.
God damn it. This is the one thing we're supposed to be good at.
The one fucking thing. Yeah.
So, basically being like, who's the luckiest of the lucky? And Ben is like, lucky people don't get kidnapped and tortured by psychopaths.
You're not wrong.
And the game master is like, you know, it's really hurtful when you call someone a psychopath.
Okay, psycho.
And he says that like he was like the lowest rated or whatever to ever win. Like you were the long shot. And he hands Ben a cigarette. And Ben has like a bloody leg or something. I could not see what was happening here.
Oh,
I would
yeah,
have
because you told me
asked.
Jason did something.
It looked like he twisted his leg, but now he has like blood. And I'm assuming something is sticking out of it, but like I couldn't see any of that, so I would have asked some of these questions, but like I'm not going to.
But didn't you say he also stabbed himself in the leg with the antidote?
He did like in the thigh with just like a little like needle. This felt like a bloody
Okay.
knee or something like that. Regardless, like it doesn't. I feel like if you gave yourself a needle of
EpiPen.
something, like you're not like bleeding from it.
I would agree. Yeah.
So, whatever. We get a quick shot of his bloody leg that I can't tell what's in it. And so Ben's like, well, I won. Like, do I get to go home? And Games Master just kind of like stands behind him. Ben's like sitting down and like stands behind him and hands him the lighter for his cigarette. And Games Master says, in the Kentucky Derby, does the winning horse get the prize? Wire around his neck.
What?
Picks Ben up and starts choking him.
Wait, does the horse not get the prize?
No, Ketryn, no. The owner gets the prize.
The horse doesn't get anything? The horse gets nothing.
I don't know the rules. I'm sure they give him a treat. Also, side note, I don't think the horse wants money.
I'm so upset.
Continue. I don't know how you don't know this.
I assumed that the owner got something, but then I thought that like the horse got to take like a horse vacation.
I bet he does. Needless to say, the winner is the owner. The winner is not the horse or the jockey. So
really
even though I
upsetting.
think the jockey gets something, you know, but but that's what he's saying here.
Yeah.
Like you're just the horse.
No, what you're
of the
saying,
race.
it makes sense to me. I think I just chose to never think about it.
So he's holding him from behind, like picking him up, choking him. So Ben takes whatever the fuck is stuck in his leg that I couldn't see and then stabs
Game Master.
And then we hear system override. And the pictures on the wall start to move around. And now Game Master's picture is up there and it says in play. And then Zoe's picture is up there and it says in play. And then Zoe comes around and shoots Game Master like in the back or shoulder or something like that. And he runs off. Zoe like checks Ben. He's kind of passed out. But Zoe starts like looking around, like holding the gun up. And it's like, no Game Master, no Game Master. And he's like, and she's yelling like, Ben, come on, like get up, get up. Tackled by Game Master.
Shit.
Now he has her held to the ground with a gun to her head. Game Master says, you can't leave till we finish our game. And then Ben hits Game Master with like a glass bottle, like shatters it over his head. Question number 13, what do you do? What does Ben do?
Ben hit Game Master over the head.
Yeah.
With something.
Yeah. So he made him like pass out pretty much.
Okay.
Like a glass, like a liquor bottle or something.
Yeah, I'm going to grab the gun and I'm going to shoot forever until the gun is empty. I'm going to save a bullet. I don't know what else is out there. Hand in hand.
Smart. Ben like holds the gun up and like shoots him once, and Zoe's like, make sure he's, and then Ben shoots again. And they're like,
Nice.
dead.
Nice.
And-
Sammy's all around. I think we can we can induct all these people.
I'll take Ben and Zoe for sure. They're welcome. So now Ben is limping, so Zoe kind of like puts his arm over her shoulder, and she's like, there's a service elevator over here. And Ben's like, you came back for me? And Zoe says, I'm tired of being the only survivor.
Oh, I love it.
I know. Cut to the hospital. Ben's in bed, like sleeping. Zoe's sitting there by his side, and one of the nurses says it's been like 24 hours pretty much. A detective comes in and asks Zoe to come with him, and they go to the building.
Oh my God.
Which I thought was like kind of traumatic for her to have to do.
They're not supposed,
But
yeah.
they needed her to come, and so they go inside to the elevator to the third floor, going towards like the waiting room. They go in, it's empty. And not like an empty waiting room. It's an empty warehouse,
space,
disheveled, like fucking spray paint, trash around.
Right.
And she's like, no, this was the oven, and then there was fire, and like, and the detectives are like, there's no evidence of any of that. And there's like a little hole in the wall, and she's like, no, this is where the duct was. Like, that's where we crawled through. And the detective is like, have you ever like seen things that aren't there? And she's like, no, like Ben was there too. He'll tell you everything when he wakes up. And the detective says, your friend Ben had 3 different illegal substances in his system.
Fuck.
And then above the little hole in the wall where the duct was, in spray paint, it says no way out. And she starts, Rain Man, staring at it, and she's like, no way out. She's like, it's an anagram. And she starts moving the letters around, and it says Wu Tan Yu.
I'm really bad at anagrams. I wouldn't have gotten that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have either, unless I knew it was supposed to be an anagram. But yeah. And she's like, this is part of the game. And like the detectives are like, okay, we gotta like vacate the premises. And she's like freaking out.
Yeah.
Cut to daytime. 6 months later.
Okay.
We're in like a fancy restaurant, actually like on the outside of like by the river, the Chicago River.
Uh-huh.
We've been there.
Yes, we have.
And Ben is wearing like nice clothes, and he comes and like sits down with Zoe, and like they're like, oh, like how are you doing? You look great, you know. And he's like, oh, I'm the new regional sales rep.
Okay,
of, like,
Ben,
Logan
come
Square
through.
or whatever.
Love it.
And Zoe has like a binder in front of her, like full of papers and stuff. And he's like, oh, is that homework? And she opens it, and it's newspaper clippings. And she pulls out the first one. Dale, last name, died of a heart attack in this specific place. Jason, last name, thrown from his motorcycle on the I-5 with like DMT in his system or something. Danny, last name, drowns in Lake Michigan.
What?
Amande, last name, rock climbing alone, fell to her death.
Okay.
And Zoe's like, there would have been articles for us too.
Wow. Shit. Okay.
So Ben's like, you got to let this go. Like, you know. And Zoe's like, they're still out there. Like, the people who did this are still out there. Like, we need like answers. We need to find them. Like, we beat them at their own game. And she pulls out, so on the little puzzle box and like throughout the game and stuff, there's like a specific logo, and it was kind of like 3 intertwined triangles.
Mm-hmm.
So she like pulls it up. She pulls it up, but has like the actual triangles like on a piece of paper, and so she kind of spreads them apart. And she's like, it's a impossible object. And then like the pattern is like stairs, and they're all connected or whatever, and the numbers, blah 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 blah. It's coordinates.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, it's coordinates of like an unnamed industrial building in Manhattan. Like, they're hiding in plain sight.
Okay.
And I have 2 plane tickets to New York in 2 weeks. And Ben is like, this is survivor's guilt. Like my therapist says, like we have to move on. And Zoe tells him moving on doesn't mean running away. So, are you in? And Ben says yes.
Okay.
Cut to an airplane like flying in the air, but one of like the engines is on fire, and inside everyone's freaking out. There's a stewardess like looking through like the top area, like looking for something. She like grabs a bag and she's like, here we go, X marks the spot. And she pulls out some tool that has that triangle symbol on it, and she like runs to the front towards like another steward
flight attendant.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What just happened? My brain. So she runs to the front, to the door, and they're like, okay, that has to like connect to the bolt that we found. They're like, try it in the door, and they're like turning it in the door like towards the front, and they're like, it's not working, but it opens like another little shelf on the side, and it has a keypad.
Okay.
And like a little riddle written there. So this is a bonus point.
Okay.
The riddle is, I fly without wings, I cry without eyes. What am I?
I fly without wings. I cry without eyes. God damn it. Eric walked by right at that moment, so I said it out loud so that he would maybe know it. I fly without wings. I cry without eyes.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
So they're like, okay, we need to think. So it's like the two flight attendants, and like we hear on the thing, like, brace for impact. And he's like, I need to think. Cloud, try cloud.
Oh.
They put in cloud. The door opens to the cockpit. The pilots are passed out, and they're heading, like, through the window, it's heading, like, straight towards, like, a mountain or something like that. And the computer's being like, you're going to hit, pull up.
That's what they say.
So the flight attendant like runs in, she like screams, and she like tries to pull up, and then it's like crash, fire, and then the window computer screens to just hazmat people standing in front of it.
Okay.
And we hear someone be like, do you want to reset? And then we kind of expand out, and it's like a warehouse with like a plane in it, and it's been like a simulation. And we just hear a voice over the speaker be like, no, good work. Ready for game time? And like the flight attendant lady inside the cockpit is just like, I hurt my goddamn hand on that bolt again, Larry. And then some other guy kind of down in the warehouse control room, whatever, goes up to a computer and then talks to just like a guy who's just like a dark shadowy figure on the computer screen. And computer guy says, what's the probability of survival? And he answers approximately 4%. And it's like his voice is all disguised too, like we can't, it's like and he says, well, it's not a game if she doesn't stand any chance. And then on the computer screen, he's like, we have the flight info for Ben and Zoe.
I knew it.
And he says, it's on. So glad Zoe got over her fear of flying.
God damn it.
Let's play again.
God damn it.
Cut to black.
Rude. They already tested her.
But she beat them at their own game, and they can't handle it.
This is so rude. Poor Zoe and Ben.
Needless to say,
married.
there's an escape room 2 that's supposed to come out in 2021.
Sure.
Which I don't know the updates on that, if it's, you know what I mean.
Yeah. And they're changing. I have actually heard that they have to change the plot. And it's just going to be people trying to get out of the year 2020.
Escape.
Yeah. Count my points.
Hey, Sammies! So, as you've heard, we have a Patreon, and we have some amazing BoneCon happening over there. That's bonus content. BoneCon all the time. We are constantly updating our benefits, and we would love for you guys to come hang out with us over there. And we actually have some deals going on right now if you join soon.
Join for an annual membership by the end of 2020 and you'll get 2 months free.
So Sammys, what are you waiting for? Come on, come over to Patreon. We're all hanging out. Goodbye.
We're all gonna stay alive. Okay. Dead or Alive. You got 4 out of 7.
Sure.
Questions. You got 17 out of 24. For a total of 21 out of 31.
That is good.
Room.
Wow.
Escape room.
That'll teach me to sell myself short.
Right?
You got what it takes, kid. Me.
You gotta believe in yourself.
I know, I do. I believe in myself now. That's neat. Thanks, Bernsey. That was so fun.
Wasn't it fun?
That was really fun.
When that got the top choice and I looked it up, I was like, well, that sounds so much more what I want to do than Killer Turkey.
Yeah, they said the word Thanksgiving twice, I believe. That's a Thanksgiving movie.
All of this happened over Thanksgiving break.
Yeah.
The entire thing took place during Thanksgiving time.
Yeah, so it's a Thanksgiving movie.
It's technically a Thanksgiving movie. Thank you.
That was bananas fun.
So fun.
Maybe whenever the new escape room comes out, I'll tell you that one.
Ooh, nice. We'll have to look it up. I'll postmortem what the deal is with it.
Cool.
Wow. Thank you guys. This has been fun.
So fun.
I've had a good time.
As
I
have
hope you
I.
have. I hope everyone has too. It's so nice. I just feel like I just forgot about the world for the past 3 hours and got to hang out with my friends and do fun things.
I just love you so fucking much.
I love you so much.
You make me so happy. And I would escape any room with you.
Me too. Together, hand in hand.
Yeah.
We
Or
survive
just
it
hang
all.
out. I just hang out in that room with you too.
Just hang
Just
out
laugh.
upside down with our hands touching the ceiling.
Yes. Yes. In a very normal heighted room.
Okay, thank you guys so much for listening.
This has been Kim and Kat Stay Alive.
You know where to find us at
Sorry.
KK Sam Podcast. Kim is on Instagram. Ketryn's on Twitter. We have a Facebook group with amazing humans called Sammy's Stay Alive Maybe. We also have a Patreon and Threadless with merch. Oh, we're doing a live show? We got to work on that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're doing a live show, 12/12 for $12.
We'll do something to prepare for that.
I'm glad that we had to record today because it just reminded both of us that we are doing a live show. So
we had some other things going on this week.
We did. But we got you. It's going to be great.
We'll see you guys then. I hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving and gets to Zoom with their families, and it's wonderful. We love you all.
This has been Kim and Kat Stay Alive.
Maybe.
So until next week,
stay alive!
Put a ghost in me.
I'm done.